Attention, true crime community. True crime community has been infiltrated.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost.
Is compromised.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are.
True crime community has been infiltrated.
Yes, Mr. Yes, Mr. Yes.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
You work in a fucking gym, and you're 45!
I do not want any spies or snitches stuck to my chest.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
So that's his rules, and you can't stick with us. Whatever. Those rules aren't real. You can't stick with us!
Do it my way.
Get ready for the shit show. Smoke them if you got them. Make sure you have your cigarettes. Make sure you have your drinks. Make sure you have all your stuff ready, because it's going to be a hell of a day today. Understand me when I say people are fucking sick of this.
I need you again, so stick around. So stick around.
She told her subs and everybody to get ready for the shit show that was going to be put on today. She was well aware of it before it happened. She told you to get your cigarettes, your snacks, and your drinks.
So stick around.
Say that I wasn't including Queen B, okay? I've said that on every single live. I'm not talking about Queen B. I'm not talking about Queen B. Guess what? I was fucking talking about Queen B.
Leave the world around us. They don't need to know. Come find me where the sun sets and say you'll never let me go. You're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide where I love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love. You'll always be my broken love. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love.
Queen B, bring the information on Queen B. We're done with Queen B. Queen B's in my crosshairs. There's Queen B's channel. Queen B thinks she can. But Queen B is reformed. I bet you Queen B gets tricked. Queen B.
Fake PI trash bag bitch is so obsessed with me.
You'll always be my broken love. They don't know how we love when we're letting close. With you, I know I belong. Without all eyes on us, you're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide where I love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love. Cause you'll always be my broken love. Cause you'll always be my broken love.
Queen B would think she could.
Anybody at Queen B show earlier.
We talked about Queen B and stuff. I didn't listen to Queen B's.
I heard Queen B, we got bailing on Salty for Queen B, and some people not the Queen B. I don't understand why anybody's afraid of her.
About Queen B over here on Queen B.
Queen B, show her face, show her face, show her face.
That's real rich coming from somebody who wears pantyhose on his face every live.
You'll always be my broken love.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been... Tonight
Yo, what's happening? What's happening? It's a fucking Monday. It's a fucking Monday. How y'all doing? Definitely a fucking Monday, huh? Let's see here. Let's get some shit going. Yeah, we lost power last night. Actually, I started live, and I'm kind of glad I did because from my understanding, there was a whole lot of storytelling going on. I don't know. I didn't get to hear it, so I have to go back and listen later today. But all I really heard about was teacher and school and 400 houses, and I'm not even sure what all the rest of it was. But I missed quite a big story last night, I guess. All right. Sorry, I had to set the chat up and pin the link and stuff. Okay. What was confusing? RLR. Hold on. RLR. What was confusing? What do you mean? The most Monday of Mondays. That's for sure. You were confused because I got off here last night, or you were confused at the story going on? Oh wait, what do you mean? It was odd. Yeah, see, I was gonna say I heard. I mean, like I said, I didn't get to go back and listen to it myself, but I heard it was quite the story. So, not really too sure what all happened, but I had my So the neighbor's tree fell on the power lines and it kicked the power out from the storm. So that's what happened. I mean, it was back on like an hour or so later, so it wasn't too long. You know what I mean? We weren't without power for very long, but oh, it was hard to keep up with the housing story. Yeah. I don't know. That's Buttercup, and last time she was up here, she had talked to us about how she wrote the song "Jumpin' Jumpin'," like "Ladies leave you man at home." Like that's you know what I'm saying. And so everybody said, "No, you did not write that. You're lying. You're telling a big story." Um, Nobody believed it. I don't think she ever sent proof of it, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't know. People say the fucking craziest shit on here. Who the fuck really knows? Anyways, so let me just say this. I hear Aileen reached out to our person that shall not be named because she wants to admit her wrongs and admit to the things that she's done. I actually think, you know what? Do what you got to do because you've been doing a whole lot of fuck shit behind the scenes and we've been getting blamed for it. So, if you can be a fucking grown ass woman and stand on your shit that you've been pulling, Aileen, go ahead and do your thing. But make sure you have proof because I know I sure as fuck do. That's why your ass was blocked so you couldn't delete or remove anything. So if you want to go on Betty's show, you go right ahead. But make sure that when you fucking go up there, you admit to all the shit you've been pulling behind the fucking scenes. Because I'm tired of getting blamed for your fuck shit. I'm real fucking tired. Do your thing. Make sure you stand on it, though. Make sure you got proof of all your shit. Because I sure as fuck do. So, yep, she did the shit on her own. Never-ending fuck shit. Just do you, baby. Just do you. No, she's gonna go on Betty's apparently. I don't really give a fuck what she does. Just another manic Monday. I'm fucking done, son. Here, blank screen coming in with the facts. Now you're really gonna look. Now you're really gonna call her out. Cappy said the same thing. The Jumpin' song was co-written and co-produced by a group member. Okay, by group member Beyonce Knowles and Chad Elliott. Well, she said that she wrote it when she was 11 years old in her bedroom and gave it to her uncle, and her uncle gave it to somebody, and somebody gave it to them, and then they made it. From my understanding. It's missing in action. Hold on. Would you say who wrote the song? Who said she wrote the song? Buttercup. She came on here last night and was talking about some stuff. I missed it, but apparently she was talking about some stuff that was going on, and the chat was not having it. I got a couple emails and a couple messages saying that she was on here talking about stuff that didn't even make any sense, and they couldn't keep up with it. And hold on, excuse me, ma'am, but Buttercup could be an alias, and we've been having Beyonce in here the whole time. Bitch, that did it. That fucking did it. That's it. Not Beyonce in here the whole time. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Let's see. Phoenix, you're up here, baby. What's up? Can you hear me okay? Oh, okay. Well, you bounced back down. I heard you made a video for MGL. Phoenix. I heard you made a good video. Well, hold on a minute. Let's see here. Something about 400 houses in a school. She's now a teacher. She bought a sweater from Amazon. Oh my fucking God, not the goddamn sweater story. It's been 84 years. The fucking sweater story. That shit lasted for years. She's like, okay, to make a long story short, 5 fucking hours later, fucking, that's how long it took to hear the damn story. 85 and a half years. Shit. We got court in 2 days. So that's a good thing. For anybody that doesn't know. Right. To make a long story shorter, and then it ends up being 5 fucking hours long. I don't know. I like Buttercup. I really like Buttercup. I very first met her when she came on here with the Ryan Upchurch stuff, and then she read an article, some article out of somewhere. I don't even know where the fuck she got it from, but she read it off, and it said something about Ryan Upchurch and making this magazine or whatever was this article was making false allegations against him. When she read it out, he got pissed and he made a video called Financially Fucked. And he was talking about the girl on my panel, which would have been Buttercup. That is actually how I met Jonesin. That's when Jonesin came into play. Jonesin actually made a video about it during the Kylie Rodney stuff, and we became friends. And then I started helping her build her channel and promote her channel and stuff so she could get going. She's been doing really good since. She's taking off on her own, like, got it going on, baby. But yeah, that's how she actually. Jonesin is the one who explained it to all of Upchurch's people that he wasn't talking to me. He was actually talking to Buttercup, who was the one who made the allegations towards him. So, yeah, that's where Buttercup come from. And she's been around about as long as Jonesin has been. So she had come up here and told us this story about jumpin'. And I think the live might still be up, actually. And then, you know, people called her a liar from that point on because, you know, it didn't sound like she was telling the truth. And, you know, yeah, she's been rolling around about as long as Johnson has been. That was the article. Yeah, it had lots of mistakes in it. Yeah, it did. And Ryan was pissed. I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too because it was pretty fucking nasty allegations that were in there too, you know? Hold on, let me see this. Think Aileen will still give her a run for her money. At least she lady enough to set the record straight. Betty, your record. Okay, Betty, your record you need to set straight and is massive with people. It's called accountability. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother topic. What? Not telling the truth? Wait, somebody not telling the truth on YouTube? Are you fucking serious? Oh my God. Oh my God. And guess what else too? There's been somebody else that supposedly faked their, you know, their own death, and apparently they're still alive, which everybody knows Chip. I'm sure everybody knows who Chip is. But she was sick, well, supposedly sick for a long time. What's up, B Tim?
What's up?
What's happening?
Oh, you can continue with the Chip thing. The funniest thing was I don't even know who Chip is, so you can continue.
Oh yeah, she's from the Summerwell stuff. I didn't figure you did because she's been on. Well, she's over on her own with the Summerwell stuff. That's where she came into play for me. But supposedly she never died.
You're breaking up. You're like really breaking up.
Okay. There's nothing I can do about it unless I leave and come back.
Okay. All right. If it gets too bad, I'll let you know. Oh, she left and come back. Sorry about that, guys. She was roboting. Yeah, God smited the live stream last night. I think it was a sign from God that he didn't want to continue that live stream. Smited Queen Bee's electrical systems, and I guess that's what happens. God was angry. No clue who Chip is. I have no clue who Chip is. I don't know anything of this shit, the whole debacle going on. Queen will explain it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But anyway, how you guys doing? Cool. Queen will be right back, and you will not have to see me too long. I'm sure Queen will be right back. Anyway. Let me see. Tiffany Marie is spinning into Without a Crystal Ball conspiracy. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I think I watched that live stream, and I was like,
is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's my service because, like I said, I got this new laptop and everything, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. I have no idea when it does that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. It is what it is. There's not anything. I mean, there's nothing I can really do about it. So,
I guess you were continuing with the Chip story about the person who was.
Well, she claimed she was dead, and she's not. She's alive. That's pretty much all there is to it. That's.
Is her last name Nazareth?
I have no idea. I don't know her.
That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke, like Jesus of Nazareth.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know her.
I was just fucking with you.
I have no idea unless they doxed her. Shit, I know.
Don't get the joke.
They got doxed.
You don't get the joke. You know how Jesus came. You know how Jesus came back from the dead. That's why I just said it was her Chip's last name Nazareth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, they called this out yesterday, I guess. She looks like, I mean, if you were to look at her and see her, she had a bald cap on, she was bald, and I thought she was really sick, like she claimed to be. So it kind of really is irritating that she went on with this fucking life for so long, because a lot of people are affected by that. A lot of people have lost family to cancer, a lot of family to other, illnesses and things like that. So when you sit and feel like you're fucking sick and like you got something going on that you're going to pass away, and then you claim you passed away and you really fucking didn't, that's an issue.
You know, the weird thing is, I tell people this. I thought the bald guy was. I thought the bald woman was Carl when they was doing Tiffany Marie. I was like, well, who is that? Carl? And I
No,
was like,
Carl's got his own channel. I'm not
some
going to bring him up over here, though. So will you
yeah,
not? I don't really want to
I
bring
know.
him up
I
over here at all.
was. My
Yeah.
apologies. I was just saying that's how much I do not know nothing of this situation. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Who is this? Why
Yeah,
are they?
I don't do conspiracy theories and shit. And I mean, I'm not hating on him for doing whatever the fuck he does, but I don't want any parts of that shit.
I understood. I was just saying that that's an example of how much I have no fucking clue what was going on. I was like sitting there. I was like, what? Who is this? What's going on? And then I decided to just watch something else, pretty much, because flat earthers and QAnon. Yeah, made no sense to me. Maybe I'm just too dumb. You know, I'm not the sharpest pencil. Let's just say that much, or whatever the saying goes. Yikes. But anyway, what else do you want to talk about, Queen? Well, probably Queen's dealing with Duke. Damn it, Duke is being probably dealing with Queen or something like that. Let me see. Just reading the chat. I'm waiting for Queen. I think something, probably a bird, a dog, probably something happened. I don't know. When she gets back in the moment, she'll be back. Let me see. I almost had to figure out that probably wasn't there. It says, Good Egg says, I think you are a talented movie critic. People who make YouTube true crime films should be seeking you out to promote their films. Yeah, and I did watch that film like 5 times, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. Particularly one scene. But that's another day. Let me see. BTM was spicy yesterday to the school lady. I wasn't spicy. It was just like, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is like when you tell a story, it's got to be quicker. It's like it's going like 15 minutes. And it's like at that point, the problem with that, if your story is 15 minutes, there's people that log in like in 10 minutes and they have no idea what you're talking about. So you kind of have to have a story that kind of like everyone can follow. And it's like that's the issue. That was the problem. And it's like you got to like kind of hurry it up a little bit with the story, you know? And it's like, you know, and that was my thing. And I was trying not to be rude as well. I was just like, okay, you know, let's get the summary, the punchline of the story. And that was pretty much the situation with that. Good Egg was probably sad. She wanted to jump up and join the conversation, but unfortunately, God has decided that stream should not exist and smited Queen's electrical system. And thus, that stream is gone. Or at least I haven't seen it. Just lighting a little urgency fire to bring some speed to clarity to the story. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my God, your kitty is 30 pounds. What the hell are you talking about, Cappy? These people's stories are years long. Think epic, not after school special. Yeah, like you got to do like a 5-minute story. If you're going to do like a quick, like my day, my week, you got to do like 5 minutes. So, yeah, you were very invested in the story. You were in the back chat. I saw you. Oh, shit. You scared the shit out of me.
Okay, I wanted to make sure this was her. I didn't see her in the back chat back here. Okay.
It's me, babe.
Oh,
all right, I just wanted to make sure.
Right.
What's up, baby? I heard somebody got the peen bomb the other night, so I'm like really trying to make sure I cover my ass with this fucking screen here.
Yeah, I don't know what's with people.
Not a peen bomb again.
Yeah.
I think I didn't get it. He got it, but just you know what I mean, just to be aware.
Yeah.
So Joneson, how's the chickens?
Good.
I see you're with the other chicken. I know George is teaching the other chicken.
Oh my God. Okay. The other day, my husband was out in the driveway with his good buddy, and Toasty tried to mount Lynette.
Oh. You saw how excited. Oh, there's some radio in the background. Are you at like
I know, darn. I had to cut it down. I'm at work.
Oh, shit. Okay. No problem.
I'm on break.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm not excited about that. I feel like he's too young to be trying to do Wynette.
I think you should take him to like you should put like, I'm going to recommend a 1950s like
Wait.
video.
Did you just say Toasty?
Yes, Toasty's trying to do Wynette.
Bitch, he's too
God.
little.
No,
I seen he was learning how to cockle-doodle-doo.
Yeah,
Let me see.
Tony said he grabbed her by the neck and jumped on top of her the other day.
Oh, damn, he's getting frisky and all. He's like, I've hit puberty and that's it.
All right, I'm going to have to pull up a special video here.
I'm pissed I missed Boston and Jules' hanging out last night.
Oh, I missed it too.
Yeah, they were in this. Okay, so I don't know. Like it was this. I don't even know the name of the hotel, but it was nice as hell. Super, super nice.
Okay, Johnson, I recommend it as Boys Grow Up, 1950s educational film for Toasty.
Oh, fuck. 1950s film.
My God.
You could put that on for Toasty, make him watch it, and he'll learn. He'll learn.
All I can think is gross, 1, and 2. Poor Wynette, man. She's the one always getting it.
It's me. I'm not Peen Bonnet.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey, Allie Belly.
Wait, isn't Wynette like Toasty's like surrogate mom though?
Yes.
Oh,
so
even that's yeah.
No, it's Oedipus syndrome.
I wonder if that's why he like sidesteps. You know, like how he sidesteps and like grabs with his foot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Wynette is the white silky. She's the one that kind of took Toasty in and taught him the ropes, and now he's trying to
like, get over here.
Now
he's trying to mount her, and I don't like it very much.
Isn't Oedipus with your dad though? Beat him, not your mom.
What the hell is Oedipus?
An Oedipus complex. He just said it's an Oedipus complex, but I think that's like a father thing. You know.
Gross.
Yeah.
Beatim's not commenting.
I'm not commenting. I blame it all on Joneson. She's raised that poor Toasty in a unclean environment for chickens.
No. Poor Toasty. He's looking good though. I love it. He like he kind of like flips his wings before he cockadoodles.
Yeah, he does.
I like that technique.
You like that technique, huh?
It's like it's giving him strength. Like
he's like
he's pumping himself up before he does it. It's so cute.
Yeah, he's doing it with his whole chest, and he
was saying it with his. He was fucking doing with his whole chest, baby.
It sounded so weak. He was on that weak sauce, but I was so proud of him.
Well, he felt tough. I'll tell you that. Just with his little self, watching him, I'm like, oh, he is small, but he is mighty. Look at him, little self.
Exactly.
He's so sweet.
He's so cute. That Toasty. Is George okay with it?
I guess. Hell, I don't know.
Oh no, George.
First, you guys talked about cats mating the other night. Now you're talking about chickens mating.
Who talked about cats?
Cappy,
the other day,
probably.
Cappy was.
Cappy.
Cappy with the cat.
Cappy. Stop the cap.
Stop the cat. Stop cat.
Cap. Or stop the commas.
Stop the commas in the cap. Everything's T with cap.
Toasty was flipping. All right. This is too much fun. What else do you want? What's the next subject?
Beaton wants to move it along. He's
moving
like,
along. This is not the chicken channel. What else do you guys want?
It's hot today. God.
I came just to make sure it wasn't incest, but I realized it really isn't, but pseudo, right? That's all.
Oh, God.
This is not really, it's not really the baby, so, you know.
We're talking about chickens, by the way, people, just in case if you log in, like, just be careful.
Yeah, because he didn't come from her.
Yeah, but he attached her like it was his mama, right?
Yeah. And she lays eggs and then lays on them, but doesn't hatch them. It's weird.
Oedipus's boy to brother Electra is a girl to her father.
What in the hell?
This is getting.
I never heard of
interesting.
Electra. I've heard of Oedipus.
Amy says, "I'm afraid
I
of
gotta share.
chickens."
I need for you. Look, I shared this earlier. I think I need for you guys to give me some opinions on this shit. What do you guys think about this? I don't know if he's been fired yet or not, but I think he should be, and I think it's an asshole move what he did. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah.
Hold on.
I was really fucking irritated by this. It really pissed me right the fuck off.
Oh yeah, girl. Yep.
There's growing outrage today over a cop who laughs while talking about the death of a grad student who was run over by a patrol car.
She is dead.
Body cam video shows the
Oh,
cop,
God.
Daniel Orderer, laughing at.
You ain't heard this, Ellie?
Yeah, I saw it. It was really bad.
I dropped it in there in the Discord this morning. It was, but I'm like, are you fucking serious?
I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah, I seen it, and I was like, "Whoa, this guy is a fucking asshole." But it makes it even worse when you play more of it. Like, the guy is a complete asshole.
Yeah, and to laugh like that, oh, she's dead. I'm like, are you fucking serious? He's got to know he's being recorded. You know what I mean? For here, I'll play the rest of it.
Up during a call with the president of the Seattle Police Union.
Yeah, just write a check. Yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
He's talking about.
There you go.
Yeah, she's only 26, or she's 26, so she had a limited value. Write a check for $11,000.
Well, I wouldn't be that low, but like basically, that's
bullshit for even say that shit, first of all.
Jesus Christ, man. Because like that's just.
And to clarify, this officer is the one talking, is the one that went. Okay. So there was an officer on the way to a drug overdose. He was going like 74 miles an hour.
Yeah.
She was in the crosswalk. He hit her because, of course, he didn't see her. The officer talking is the one that was sent to investigate, to do the internal investigation of the officer that hit her to make sure that he was not under the influence.
Yeah.
So, or that he did not, purposely do this or anything like that. So that, and he's on the phone with the big guy, basically.
Yeah. And I don't know why he would be trying to like joke around and recommend amounts of settlements. It's like that. You're a fucking idiot. Like, you're like so stupid. I mean, like, holy fuck. Should the officer be fired?
Absolutely. Which one? The one that hit her? No, he's already going to have to deal with that.
Right, I was gonna say because one of them, he already hit her, and so I think he's just covering. But can you imagine he's talking to like what they say he would like the CEO or something? Who is he talking to? Somebody.
He's head of the police guild there.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean to have that conversation with somebody that's upper like that,
Well, it just shows that person's like very callous when it comes to discussing these types, because it like in this type of situation, the officer is not in the wrong, but the lady's not in the wrong, and you would probably try to like as lawyers will often like try to figure out compensation, who's more in the wrong, and it's a very complicated situation like this. Now, there is calculations you do get into for wrongful deaths and all that, but that's usually left for like lawyers to figure out. And like, what job she had and all that stuff. $11,000 and joking about that, it's not right. That's like kind of insulting a woman's life and saying, well, her life is only worth $11,000. And that's an outrageous statement, actually, to state.
Yeah, she's 26 years young. She has all the value, Tony says. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, also, I don't, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, a lot of times with these wrongful death cases, there are calculations that do come into play, but not $11,000. And it's not a joking matter. It's a very serious matter. It requires a lot of, calculations, lawyers, depositions, stuff like that. And, the family could decide, like the emotional stress, like the emotional issues with the families, because this is a daughter to a father or a mother, and a family is now deceased because someone was driving 74 miles an hour through a situation. Plus, we don't know about the details of the case. I don't know if it's like obviously going 74 miles an hour is pretty fast down the street. So yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna hear. I think there's another rumor coming out that it was not a drug overdose, that it was a domestic dispute, and that's not true.
Okay.
From everything I've found, because I looked this up last week, everything I found, it was a drug overdose call. Now he still shouldn't have been going 74 damn miles an hour, but he was trying to save a life and ended up taking one, and he's gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. I mean, like it wouldn't be $11,000. Grudig is correct. It'd probably be like 26 years old. That's a lot of like it just gets very kind of like unemotional. Like a lot of attorneys try to figure it out, but it's basically a ridiculous joke that he's making and saying this young woman was worth $11,000. It's ridiculous, and he shouldn't really be talking about settlements and shit like that. To be honest with you, I find that kind of inappropriate because that's not your job to do that. That's the job of the lawyers, not your job.
The speed limit, I believe, don't quote me, I believe the speed limit was 35. It may have been 45, but it was low.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking he was going like 30 over, so it may have been 45.
You want to play more, Queen?
I think that's it, isn't it?
No, there's more.
This is
there's
a
a
longer
little bit
one.
more. I just was waiting for the conversation to end.
About 23-year-old Northeastern University student John V. Kandula, who was mowed down by a patrol car driven by another cop speeding at 74 miles per hour to an emergency call. Orderer, who is vice president of the police union, seems to minimize the tragedy.
I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead.
Even fellow cops are appalled.
The victim and her family, that they're going to see and hear this video of them talking.
This was my baby girl. It would break my fucking heart to hear a police officer laughing about my baby getting hit and dying.
Yeah, I think he should be fired.
And saying she had no value.
Yeah, I think he should be fired. That's disgusting.
Why would he laugh about it?
I want to know who was on. I want to know who was on the other line, like who he was talking to.
I've got links. Hold on.
Here,
okay.
Let me go rewind. I'll tell you right now. Let me go start here. Hold on.
Outrage today over a cop who laughs while talking about the death of a grad student who was run over by a patrol car.
She is dead.
Body cam video shows the cop, Daniel Orderer, laughing it up during a call with the president of the Seattle Police Union.
Okay, so the Seattle Police
the president of the Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know why they're talking about that. Yeah.
That's fucking foul right there. Hold on.
Of the Seattle Police Union.
Yeah, the president of the Seattle Police Union. So he represents. He represents them. The union. This is the union president.
Yeah,
that's
probably
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, they're probably talking about how to cover liability in their asses with this whole thing. Because I'm thinking like definitely a lawyer's going to tear them apart with the whole situation. Like, what's a normal procedure? What's the speed you go for an overdose?
Oh, I hope her family sues the fucking piss out of these guys. I'm not even joking.
Oh, I hope so. Hope they lose their fucking jobs.
Well, it just shows
and stuff like that.
But it just shows a lack of.
This isn't even callous. This is demented. Callous would be to phrase it in a really non-emotional manner, and maybe just to be borderline inappropriate. But to laugh and talk about her value, that's fucking sick.
Oh, she's dead, and then he laughs and says, "Well, she's only worth $11,000," and that's that right there. Just oh my god, it gets under my skin because the president of the union, he's looking out for the police officers. He's gonna look out for his police officers before he looks out for a citizen. You know what I'm saying? A citizen on. It just fucking makes me sick.
You misquoted.
This is somebody's daughter.
You said you should have said limited value. It was even worse. He said limited value.
Sick.
I'm looking because I know I seen there was somewhere both of the officers were posted with their titles. I'm looking.
Okay.
I would love it. Like I would. I mean, I don't think they record all the calls, especially like the president of the police union. But like, I would love to know what his response to all this was. Obviously, he didn't have. It didn't seem that he had too much of a problem with it. Like judging by he just kept going on and laughing, and is that her mama?
No, that's that's another police. That's a police officer, I think, from the African. I think an African American community leader or something like that. Police officer. I'm not sure. It said the title on the bottom.
Okay.
Kevin Dave was the officer that hit her. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, callous can be excused a little bit because when you're dealing with like death and robberies, you kind of have to separate from yourself. But that seemed like
well, if you're gonna talk like that, that's locker room talk with your fucking boys, without your body cams and all your bullshit on.
Yeah, that's like you're joking about the death, like a tragic death of a 26-year-old who
These are people that are supposed to protect us.
You're fucked, both of them. I bet you he doesn't have his job very long either. They're probably both going to get fired, and you know what I mean. Their lives are going to be changed forever now.
Well, they're in a union, so they'll probably not be fired like the way you're thinking.
Probably not.
No, but I bet the public calls for him to lose his job.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be like, "Listen, you got to retire at this."
You're going to have, it's going to come down to that. I highly doubt he'll be able to stay on that force and work just fine,
Right. And they'll probably be like, we're going to do an investigation on what, because like, it's a little weird that he's talking to this guy nonchalantly about a case like this. And it's like,
Yeah. They had him investigate the scene of the crime.
Okay.
The one
I can't find the pictures of them, but Officer Brewer is the the one talking is the vice president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild. The one he's talking to is identified as Mike Solon. He is the guild's union president.
Yeah, that's
so president and vice president.
So wait, because this is an officer talking to, and it said the president of the union on there on the phone call.
It is. But he's also the officer that's talking to the president of the union guild. He is also he's vice president of the union guild, but he is an officer.
Oh, he's president and vice president.
No.
So what are you trying to say, baby? Because there's only one person on the phone with the cop. It's only him and another person.
Okay. The one on the end that you can't hear that he's talking to, he's the big guy. He's the president.
Right.
The one talking is the vice president.
Oh, no. The one. Okay. So the one talking is the officer.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one on the phone is the president. So there's only two people on the phone, the officer and the president of the union.
Right. But they said that the officer that's doing the talking, making the jokes, he is also under the title of vice president of that same guild.
So he's got, okay, so not only is he a police officer, he's the vice president of the union as well.
Yes.
Wow, that's even fucking worse, man.
I'm sure he's going to say in his statement, I was shocked when I heard that laugh. I was shocked when I heard that laughter, and I immediately was very concerned.
He was making some jokes too.
I'm sure he's gonna cover his ass and be like, I didn't say no jokes. I was shocked that the other officer laughed. I really care about that 26-year-old.
Yeah, their excuses don't mean shit. It doesn't even matter.
No, we don't have this side of the conversation, so we don't know, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like probably he's gonna start covering his ass, the guy on the other side. That's probably what you're gonna hear.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's what they do, Fuck yeah, they're gonna cover their asses. Fuck. I'm so irritated with these two. I can't believe that they just did this, that they just said this, and now a mother has to hear this about her daughter. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes me so fucking mad.
About somebody being hit and put a dollar amount on their life.
What do we want? Justice!
Last night, protesters called for the laughing cop to be fired. But Officer Orderer says he was not being callous, just talking about how city lawyers would treat the case. I understand that if a citizen were to hear it, they would rightfully believe I was being insensitive. The comment was not made with malice or a hard heart. Quite the opposite.
She is dead.
Yeah, that seemed like quite the opposite, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, the city wouldn't offer $11,000. They would probably not offer anything and just do depositions to see what the situation is. So just no, that explanation means shit. That's not how the city operates. The city will most likely get the complaint. They'll just basically do depositions, and they won't make any offerings until depositions are done, probably. And probably that officer that hit that girl would be deposed and asked, like, what's your normal police procedure when going to a scene? Did you put your lights on? Did you put your sirens on? Things like that.
They have to, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just what it is. But I mean, I guess we'll have to wait to see what happens. But I don't know. I think he should be fired. That's just, I guess, my opinion. And
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it just shows.
I wouldn't want him working on somebody else's kid. What's he gonna do? How's he gonna react? Laugh and make a joke out of it? No.
Yeah. Did you see? Holy shit! Did you see that whole TikTok situation with the TikTok doctor?
Yes.
Yeah, the lady got like her license suspended.
The TikTok divorce, the big fucking divorce that's going on there with that Ashley.
No,
she makes the gel. You know what I'm talking about? You guys, you TikTok girls know who I'm talking about. She does the combat gel or whatever, and she put her husband in there. She was like smacking him in the head with gel and shit like that. Apparently, he cheated on her with some fucking S worker.
The redheaded lady?
Yes. And he's like, no, I didn't know that there was a baby laying next to, she was holding the baby, and she's like, say hi to daddy. And she took her ring off and shit. And of course, everybody on TikTok's so fucking nosy, they have to know everything that's going on. So then it came out that I guess it wasn't his baby, but they are splitting up. And then she's like, he doesn't want to be, fame, and he doesn't want everybody knowing who he is when he walks around. And I'm like, holy shit, this is a whole fucking disaster. But now they got she's got millions and millions. She made like $40,000 in 5 minutes on her fucking combat gel.
Yeah. I seen that they had split, but I didn't, that he said that he didn't want to be noticed and recognized everywhere he went.
Yep.
But I didn't know that all that other shit went down. Oh, I'm gonna have to
it's a
catch
whole
up.
ass fucking shit show. So is the Krishan and Blueface bullshit. I don't know if you guys follow that. If anybody follows that, I follow it, but that's a whole shit show. What's up with the doctor? I didn't hear nothing about that.
She lost her license. She basically, I put a video, like a 3-minute video of basically, and also here's a TikTok video of her.
Was she doing TikToks during surgeries or something? What do you mean?
Yeah, she was basically doing TikTok. She was filming her patients while performing plastic surgery on them without their consent. She botched about a couple of them, and she got sued for it. And she would also dance. In before going in, and but there's a video in the back if you want to play it.
I have to back y'all up. I did not know her husband cheated on her. That makes so much more sense why he wouldn't want to be recognized in public, eh?
Right. Yeah.
It totally would. Yeah.
He said it wasn't a physical. Okay. So supposedly it came out that he did not physically cheat on her, that he had an emotional, in quotes, an emotional relationship with a street worker,
well, that's even worse. That's even worse. I don't care if she's a street worker or not. Emotional affairs are worse than physical
Yeah.
ones.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, catching it with such grace, she will not badmouth him at all. And I don't even understand. Yes, if you she sold her product, sold like she made like $50,000 or something in like 10 minutes or something crazy. It was fucking crazy.
What a dog. I can't believe he cheated. I did not know that.
Yeah,
These hoes ain't loyal, man. These hoes ain't loyal.
no, no. And, so there's only like one of these. I don't even follow it like that, but but it popped up, and here it goes. I'm gonna have to show you real quick. Here she goes, and he does like quick rundown of it or whatever. Let's see. Here she goes. This is her. She does the wigs and bullshit and the gel. You know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, she puts gobs and gobs of gel on her head. It's so gross.
Yes. And her husband, this is her husband right here. Well, he popped out and did he clapped back and then deleted the video.
It has got a bunch of followers, so clearly he did used to use this, but he does seem to have just completely wiped the profile. So I guess he really didn't want to be part of social media anymore. But yeah, he did end up uploading 2 videos, and this was the first one.
It's one thing to go on social media and tell them about your private life, especially when your partner then told you over and over about that. But it's another thing to tell me one thing, but let social media believe it's another thing.
Right. Now, look, we obviously don't know the whole.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it ends. Anyhow, they had a big ass blowout, and it's like, I guess, all over TikTok. I don't really even watch TikTok like that, but as soon as I turned it on, it was like nonstop videos of these two.
That's crazy. I don't have TikTok, so I only see what makes its way here.
Yeah, apparently she has a big like millions and millions and millions of followers, and she's doing very, very good with her business, making bank on her gel business. So let's watch this TikTok. You know what? You know what? And this girl right here, this doctor, she's not the first one to do this. You know, there's several doctors that have been fired for fucking around on TikTok and on social media while their patients are under anesthesia and they're doing plastic surgeries and shit. I think that's fucking nuts.
It's
I would not want any
disgusting.
doctor working on me like that. No, I need you to fucking pay full motherfucking attention to what's going on when you got me under the fucking knife. You know what I mean? You got to tell me what's going on.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
She's the famous physician known as Dr. Roxy. You could travel the world. She live streamed plastic surgery on TikTok, gaining a huge following.
So if you want to get in the OR and see behind the scenes and how this stuff works.
But now, Dr. Roxy, whose real name is Catherine Grawy, has been permanently stripped of her license by the state medical board in Ohio.
Dr. Roxy claims that this will change her life forever. Well, she has single-handedly forever changed the lives of at least 3 people.
Damn, what happened to these 3 people?
She botched their surgeries. I mean, let me see.
We lost that girl and Jones and Ellie. You guys all 3 dropped at the same time. I don't know what
it says. It says despite okay, so it says the suspension notice details 3 anonymized patients' complaints about Dr. Roxy. During one surgery that was live streamed on TikTok, Gru looked directly into the camera while inserting a thin tube called a cannula and performing liposuction on the patient.
Cannula.
Cannula. Thank you. I don't know too much. Despite liposuction being a blind surgery that required awareness of the tip of the cannula to avoid injury, your attention to the camera meant at those moments you were not looking at the patient or palpitating the location of the tip of the cannula, the board wrote. As a result of such negligence, the patient ended up needing a long hospital stay to deal with the, quote, free air in her abdomen and perforated small bowel and necrotic soft tissue infection, the board wrote. Another patient had to call 911, quote, due to cramping and severe abdominal pain, end quote, following a surgery involving a Brazilian butt lift, liposuction, and umbilical hernia repair. That patient was rushed to the emergency room and had part of her small bowel removed after being diagnosed. Yeah, after being diagnosed with potentially fatal condition called rhabdomyolysis. Let me see if I can say this word.
That's fucking dangerous as hell. You ain't got to pronounce it. It's fine. I mean, we know it's some bullshit, but God.
Yeah, there's another one.
Yeah, very dangerous, man.
Let me see if I can actually. Let me see if I can actually say what the hell this is. It's called rhabdo. Let me see if I can get it. How to
yeah, it's like pause and see if you can get Google to tell you or play it back to you or whatever for the word. If it'll, you know what I mean, where you say the word and it says it back to you. Type it in, it says it back to you. Pronounces it.
Rhabdomyolysis. Thank you. Rhabdomyolysis. Okay, cool. And it says is a serious medical condition that can be fatal as a result in permanent disability. Occurs when damaged muscle tissues release protein and electrolytes into the blood. These substances can damage the heart and kidneys and cause permanent disability or even death. Okay, that was patient number 2. The third patient saw for a breast augmentation procedure involving silicone breast implants. In the days after that surgery, the patient felt nausea and noticed bleeding from the breast. The patient returned twice to Dr. Gra's office, Roxy's Plastic Surgery, and where Gra delegated post-operation procedures to another surgeon, a nurse practitioner, despite the patient's... Wait, what? Where Gra delegated post-operation...
Where are you reading this from? Where is this an article that you got, or are you reading this from...
Yeah, it's an article. Here's the article. Here's the article. Here, I'll toss you the article. That's the article.
No, I just didn't know if you were reading it from this or, you know what I mean, what you were reading.
You know my memory. You don't think I would remember all this stuff off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That would be no way.
You're all right. I was just kind of, I'm like, what the hell?
Where Gra delegated post-operation procedures to another surgeon and a nurse practitioner despite the, quote, the patient's, quote, complex surgical history, end quote. Ultimately, the patient had to go to the hospital to have the implants removed, which the board said that Gra erroneously indicated to the hospital plastic surgeon had already happened. Oh, okay. These outcomes were not normal complications like those that exist in routine practice of medicine, but were rather caused by recklessness, disregard for the rules governing the practice of medicine in Ohio. And then she got 2 warnings previous to this in 2018. The first warning came in 2018 when the board told her that she needed to, quote, to maintain patient privacy when sharing photos or videos via social media on TikTok. Dr. Gra shared pre-operative photos, pre-operative interviews with patients about their bodies, live streams of their procedures, post-operatives, still images of patients taken in operating room, and the cost of the procedure. The board noted Gra also had a habit of responding to viewers' online questions during live streams while the surgical procedures remained actively ongoing. And what? Holy fuck.
What?
Like, she's live streaming while doing surgeries and answering the chat? Like, holy fuck. Like, whoa, that's whoa, that's pretty bad.
Not a surgeon I want.
Yeah, not a surgeon anyone wants. Holy fuck.
All right, I'm going to play this.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Board said its decision was based on her failure to meet standard of care following evidence that she botched 3 surgeries. Kelsey Cardenas went to Dr. Roxy for a breast lift.
I found her on TikTok. I definitely connected with her personality.
Kelsey says she watched videos of Dr. Roxy performing surgeries every day for months.
Did you talk to any patients or anything like that?
No, I didn't know anybody who had had surgery.
So you assumed because she was this TikTok personality that she was going to do a great job on your breasts.
Yeah. If you're brave enough to live.
Okay, no. If you're brave enough to go to a surgeon after you just watched them do surgeries on TikTok on other patients, I'm sorry, but you chose that. You chose that. You watched this woman put people at risk every day, and you chose to go get surgery by the same exact person you watched put at risk every day, other patients. No, absolutely no sympathy for you. Sorry, baby. Mm-mm.
I mean, we give shit to like people at live stream, like searching for people. This has got to be worse. Like you're literally cutting open a person while answering the super chats. Like, hey guys, what do you think?
She's watching it, and as she's watching it, is to go to her. Okay, well, I can't have sympathy for that. You're watching her, knowing exactly what she's doing, knowing exactly what's going on, and then you still choose to go to her. Okay, no.
Yeah, she was doing this since 2018. Okay.
Blood being said, what? Beats him. What? Say it again.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think I could even imitate that. I was like just pure shock of a fucking surgeon, plastic surgeon, watching the live stream as she's cutting into someone. Like, that's just shocking to me. Like, and they just gave her a warning for that. They gave her a warning. Like, okay, ma'am, you can't do that. Can't live stream and show pre-operative pictures of your patients and their medical records on a live stream without their consent. To be fair, this was a licensed doctor, and we have become accustomed to surgeries being reality TV. Think botched, etc. She was uniformed, but she doesn't deserve to be mutilated. Uninformed.
I don't know where you just read that from, but I didn't say
Let's
she's
get
deserved to be mutilated. What I said was I don't agree with giving her sympathy for it because she knew, like I said, she watched this lady do this and then she chose to go to her. So yeah, it sucks, and no, she didn't deserve it. But do I have sympathy for it? No, I don't. Sorry, call me a bitch if you want to, but
and that was Good Egg, by the way, that read that. So evil egg.
Good Egg. Call me a bitch if you want to. You already know where I stand. So
there's certain things. So if you want to play more, you want me to read of the second procedure.
I can't have sympathy for somebody who knew exactly what was going on and then chose to go to her to deal with that.
Yeah, that's not a good decision.
Like,
that's not a good decision.
You're watching a fucking doctor do this shit to other people and other patients, and then you choose to go to her. No, like I said, it's horrible. No, I don't think it should happen. I think it's awful, and I think she should definitely pay for what the fuck she did. However, I just can't have sympathy for somebody who chose to go to her after watching her do dances and do all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Dance around while she's doing surgeries and risk other people's lives. You know what I mean? I just can't. It's not in me.
Yeah, I would want my surgeon to be dancing or live.
What? Why are you asking me to come up here and call you a bitch? You're crazy.
I didn't know. I said I didn't. I said call me a bitch if you want to, but I mean, I just can't have sympathy for her. I can't. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No. You know
what I'm getting at is like I view as woman. I hear her and I'm like you like, oh my God, that was the dumbest decision ever. Like you shouldn't pick somebody based on their personality or because they're on TikTok. Like she made it like that's a very stupid decision. But however, she's not exactly like somebody who went to like one of those. You know, those people who are doing Brazilian butt lifts in like their like garage, you know, who aren't doctors. And I do think that
she's watching this go on TikTok. She's, you know what I mean? Like you're watching this go down. You're watching this woman on TikTok. Do you think you're not going to be the next one laying down on TikTok while she's doing your surgery?
I think she thought that was fine. I think she thought like that it was probably all on the up and up. I mean, the woman's right on TikTok doing it. She's a doctor in a hospital or a surgery center. So they're probably thinking that people
she's not the only one doing it. You know what I mean?
Like people, a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Because the reason she's losing her license is because she actually performed medical malpractice and like gave these people like serious life-threatening complications because she was doing it. It was like both together. It's not just like she invaded their privacy, which is serious if she did this without consent, but also the fact that she was an incompetent doctor. And like basically, you know how they were explaining that the board was explaining like, hey, when she was using this particular tool and she was doing this particular thing, she shouldn't have been looking up or doing anything because it's like a blind procedure. But lay people watching it, we don't know that. And we've been watching these surgery things, you know, like for forever. You know, they're doing like My 600-Pound Life, and they're getting the gastric bypass, or we're watching Botched, da 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 da. And I think that she probably, as much as we see it as being like, that's not a doctor I would pick, they probably saw it as a positive, like, oh, she's popular and look at these great results she has, and all these people go to her, and she.
Yeah, that's all fine and well, but I'm standing on it. I cannot feel sympathy for somebody who knew exactly what the fuck was going on and still chose to go to him. Sorry, I just can't. I'm not.
No, I get that. No, I 100% get that.
You know?
No, I agree. It's like, you know, there's like
go down, and I mean, it's not like she couldn't do any kind of research on what happened or what, you know, like what can happen and what can go down. You know, like I said, it happens all the time. There's more. She's not the only doctor out here doing this. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. No, I don't know. I don't know if it was the way it got read or something, but I did
Blaming
not
me? Son of a
for her.
son of a bitch.
Blame it on B. Tim. It's his
Well,
fault this time.
no, yes, it was B. Tim's delivery. No. Actually, I was actually very hyperbolic with my. She doesn't deserve to be mutilated.
It's like fucking, you know, when you watch something go down, you choose to go to it. You know what I mean? You still choose to go there. It's just really hard to be like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, today's society, I think what Godake's basically saying is today's society, a lot of people antiquate clout with being good at something and being famous. And the truth of the matter is it's warped people's perception on, you know, what you should expect. Like, I don't want my doctor to be on TikTok because I didn't grow up in the generation of where everyone was basically
honestly,
jumping
I don't really
online.
think it matters about you know, because social media, like I said, we're in a different world now. Social media is like all over. You know what I mean? However,
to be
there's
honest,
still HIPAA violations. There's still rules. There's still, I mean, you
well,
still
most
have to
people,
look for your own health, and you have to understand that if a doctor's on here doing this with other patients, fucking on video, to hee ha ha, shoving fucking cannulas in people, you know what I mean? Not paying attention to what she's doing. If you think she's not going to turn around and do the same thing to you, come on.
yeah, I think it's just messed up people. Like, today's social media has messed up people's, you know,
I think she should have
perception.
been stopped a long fucking time ago if she's been doing this for a while. Because
Yeah, 2018 was her first warning. That was, and then she had another warning in
they just
2021.
yanked her license this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the documentary about that spinal surgeon down in Texas? There was a show. It was called Dr. Death. There was a show and a documentary that came out like a year or two ago, and this guy was basically.
I probably should look into though.
Yeah, he was like butchering. He was killing and butchering people, and other doctors and nurses watching him in these hospitals were horrified. It's like they saw someone being murdered. Like, he was literally just stabbing inside people's spines and stuff. And it took and hospitals knew, and he had to move to different hospitals. And he literally, it was almost like the Catholic Church with, like, you know, pedophile priests. It took forever, and he killed and mutilated so many people. He literally didn't know what he was doing until he was finally taken down. And you want to know a cool fact about that? You can go watch it. It's called Dr. Death, and then they also made a show about it with the guy from Dawson's Creek. What was that guy named? Pacey or whatever. Yeah. And they did a documentary, but one of the assistant district attorneys who prosecuted him because they charged him with like murder, was actually cool gal Stephanie.
What?
She was actually, yeah, she was the ADI.
Cool.
Who was the gal? It was a gal in the Michael Long case. Just really, it's such a funny coincidence.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
Fuck? I swear.
I'll look at the guy's name.
Yeah. I heard that story. Remember that whole dentist thing? Remember that guy who purposely did like those painful procedures on children for insurance scams on low-income children? and it took them like a really long time. They used to like just like do fucked up things to their teeth and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember that case. It was a while ago.
That's awful. But yeah, the one I'm talking about, if you Google Dr. Death, it comes up. But it's also, his name was Christopher Dunsch, Duntschch. And yeah, it happened in like the Dallas area, I believe. And it takes a long time it's a big deal for a doctor to actually be like stripped of their license. It really does take a lot, because obviously it's not a foolproof profession, right? And so, but yeah, scary.
It looks like they've actually made a TV show about it too. So
yeah, Tim, I said like 5 times in a TV show about it.
yeah, I didn't realize that what you were saying, and then I realized it once I saw it. Holy fuck. Wow. Okay. And her next, let's go back to this lady. Her next warning came in September 2021 when the board articulated multifaceted issues with Gra's care of these patients, including concerns regarding the lack of an informed consent, ethical concerns related to privacy, social media, avoidable complications that required surgical revisions. At that point, the board recommended that Gra undertake remedial education courses related to complications of plastic surgery and professionalism/ethics. Gra complied by completing remedial education in ethical social media and finesse in mastopexy and augmentations mastopexy, which only addressed patients' complaints of surgeries to include sagging of the breasts. After that, she kept on posting videos on TikTok through October 2022, leading up to her suspension yesterday, which obviously not yesterday, but the day that happened, decision to permanently revoke her medical license in Ohio. Feebel said during her hearing that Gra had previously, quote, dismissed complaints as coming from disgruntled former patients, the Columbus Dispatch reported. A spokesman person for the State Medical Board, Ohio, Jerica Stewart, told Ars that a permanent revocation means Catherine Gra will no longer be permitted to practice medicine and surgery in the state of Ohio. Gra was also fined $4,500 based on her failure to meet standards of care. All actions taken are ultimately documented in the board's website. Stewart said that once Gra receives the final documents, the board will be also available here. Okay, let me see if it's actually available. Let me see. And it's not. All actions taken. Okay, documented. Okay. Ours could not immediately reach out to Gra on TikTok for comments. Gra's TikTok account remains active with 825,000 followers. I wonder if I can find that TikTok. And it's gone. And it's gone. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, a ghost said in the it's always funny when I say, hey, a ghost said something in the chat.
Ghost said in the chat? Were you seancing now on the fucking?
Yeah, but a ghost did say in the chat that if she or he were a serial killer, they would become a doctor. And that's why people point out they were right. It was a podcast first, the Dr. Death, is that when people looked at, they can't be sure, but when people looked at what this guy did, it really seemed to be towing the line between an extremely incompetent doctor versus is this person actually trying to like maim and murder people by doing this? Because it was just so far away from what like normal surgery should be. And it still took forever for this guy to be found out. I never heard about that dentist thing, but that breaks my heart too.
Dentist, procedures on low-income families in New York City. Let me see. Is it the French dentist? I'm trying to see where it was. Dollars and dentists. I think it was dental care. Let me see. I'm trying to find the damn thing. I've already seen it because it was like a big deal.
So in that case, was it kind of like them doing unnecessary dental procedures and
Yeah,
billing
it was
Medicaid?
Yeah, so I think it was Florida.
Yeah.
Florida investigates allegation dentists performed unnecessary procedures to collect on Medicaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would do like unnecessary. I think this is the one. This was years ago. And parents alleged that the dentist performed surgeries to collect millions. Florida State Attorney, and this was, let me see. I'm trying to find if I can find the actual, like a video. But yeah, it was pretty bad, like really bad.
Oh my God, Amy. So now Amy said in the chat, a serial killer could hit up a Halloween haunted house and do some damage before anyone knew the chainsaw blood and screams weren't staged. That's why I never go to one. Oh my God.
Well, that's a storyline. That's a storyline for a couple of actual horror movies. Actually, I've seen a couple of horror movies like that. Actually,
Oh my God. Now it's a new thing for me to fear. I have so many random fears. Yeah, Lucy Letby, that one was very sad. That was psychotic.
Yeah, that's at the French dentist. Oh, it was actually multiple dentists that did that. It's like Medicaid fraud or some shit I've been doing. I'm trying to find it. I'll find it next time. Oh, I found it. Yeah, dentist accused of abusing children, unwanted procedures, and it was like 8 years ago. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I think that was the one I was listening to. And it's gone.
Yep, it's gone.
It's gone.
So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. That's about that.
Yeah, this is such a happy-go-lucky stream. Now we're giving people ideas on how to cure serial killer people for Halloween. Thanks, Good Egg.
Hey, I'm just reading what a ghost and Amy said.
You read just a ghost told me.
It is a ghost. It was a ghost who said it. Like literally.
It
was a ghost.
Like your alt account that you just fucking.
A ghost.
No, ghost has been around forever.
Okay, here I gotta ask you guys. Okay, so have you guys heard about this? 3 men face life sentences for kidnapping a 17-year-old boy from an island from Inland Empire. Have you guys heard about this?
No, what's Inland Empire? Tell me more.
Queen's probably pulling.
Sorry, I had to yell at my fucking bird in there. Going off.
Oh, at least it's not Duke. Damn it, Duke. Is that his name? Damn it, Duke.
I'm sure he fucking thinks it is. I mean, every goddamn time I yell at him, it's fuck Duke or God damn it, Duke. And he looks back at me like, what? Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to yell at you like that right now. He does. That is his fucking name. He just looked right at me when I said
it.
After 3 men allegedly kidnapped a San Bernardino County teenager and held him for days. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk now. And Mike, you have a copy of that indictment. The story is it's just wild, if that's the appropriate word.
It's just terrifying. You know, I was saying earlier, this is every parent's worst nightmare. Your 17-year-old kid kidnapped off the street and gone for days. I want to show you a new video into the KCAL newsroom. We just got this from a resident. This is in Highland. That Jeep that you see going across the screen there, that is the Jeep that allegedly kidnapped this teenager. We were able to speak with the resident whose camera took this video. He says federal investigators came looking for him and asked him to show him the Ring cameras, and they found that Jeep. Now, we believe that this is right after the kidnapping where that 17-year-old is in. The affidavit says that the people in this Jeep intentionally crashed in to the 17-year-old's car and then kidnapped him. I want to come to my computer here because I'm going to show you what happens next. After that, the federal investigators say the victim's mother received a phone call from a telephone number. The caller demanded $500,000 to be delivered to an unspecified location in Nogales, Mexico for the return of her son. They also told her that the kidnapping was the fault of the victim's father. Now, shortly after, a video was sent to the mother's phone in which the son appeared to be reading from a statement and said that this is dad's fault and this is what they're wanting before they'll they'll give me back. Now, that led investigators to Santa Maria. That's where they say the victim was taken to. We'll show you some video because, Pat, early this morning, the FBI, along with authorities in Santa Maria, conducted a search warrant. They burst into the room there, the motel room, and were able to rescue that 17-year-old boy from his captors, the alleged captors, all taken into custody. They even had a gun at the time. As we come back out here to the desk, Pat, the story of how they were able to track these people down is pretty incredible. The FBI says they used a picture of that car from a Facebook page to be able to find the person that was listing it. It was on Facebook Marketplace. The person that was listing it for sale, they found their phone number. They went through their call records, found a person that they had been in constant communication with, then looked through that cell phone number and pinged it from Mexico to Arizona to Highland and then to Santa Maria. That's where they were able to find it. They did surveillance on that Motel 6 last night. And then at 7 a.m. this morning, Pat, they burst in the doors and rescued that teen boy.
Wow, good work on the part of.
Well, that's crazy as hell.
I mean, thank God they found him. That's like a unusual happy ending, I guess. Also, this Mike Rogers guy, is this like, it seems like do news reporters like dress as casually now, like on the news? Just wearing like a pullover and
What are
a
you,
t-shirt.
What are you, the fashion police?
Is
now?
that just unusual? He beats him. He looks fine. However, aren't people normally like wearing like a suit and tie when they're on the local news?
Why does he
Unless they're
have
on
to
the
wear a
street.
suit? Why does he have to
He
wear a suit and
doesn't
tie?
have to be, Tim. I was just commenting on how it seems like perhaps the trends in
Listen,
apparel for like people in the local news is different.
I think everyone should wear suits. Everyone and a top hat or some sort of like casual, like some sort of like suit or like dress from now on too.
I think everyone should wear sweatsuits like all the time.
What are you from Jersey? Are you from Jersey or something with like the mafia? Like,
I like to be comfortable. I think comfort is important. People should wear what makes them happy.
so why are you dogging this guy? He wants to be happy.
I'm not dogging him. Okay, we're going off on a tangent. It's going to annoy her really badly, so I'm going to stop. But what I'm saying is, I'm not dogging him. He looks fine. Just looks casual for normally what I see people in the newsroom when they're in the newsroom, like reporting from in the newsroom. It was a one-off comment.
Shade. You're throwing shade at this man.
You say so, Tim. After I made that video for you, it's like not cool, man.
Doesn't matter. Shade is shade. Queen is probably contemplating her what she's gonna do. She's thinking probably of kicking us both. Or
this annoying ass, repetitive ass fucking birds fucking pissed me off, and I just out. That's what's going on. So I'm fucking quite irritated with this motherfucker right now. If you must know.
Queen's gotten very good with her mute button because I haven't heard her birds in years. You know, when back in the day, we would always hear our little friends.
Back in the day, I
when
didn't
she was the bird
this.
hacker.
Look, now that I finally have Panalytic, it fucking irritates me. It irritates the fuck out of me to hear people eat. It fucking pisses me off to hear people fucking jumping or like, yeah, fucking thing or your chair. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
No, you've gotten very good at it. Like you never hear any background noise.
People are gonna come up and start doing that shit to me now. Do what?
That's gonna be like their main tick. They're just not gonna talk. They're just gonna do this.
They're gonna be like, damn, she kicked me quick. I don't know what I did wrong. Like I heard your fucking chair before I heard you. That's it. Boom. Removed.
Boom. You're out. You're gone. Excessive noise. Well, all they need to do is actually there's a button that you can hit that removes background noise, but it messes up like when you pull up your mic, like if you pull up your phone, you put like sound effects. So.
Oh, they are. Well, I'm gonna start calling you good nut and you miss opinion. They are.
No.
No, I did watch that video that Kate made today, and I thought that was really fucking. She did a really good job making that. I didn't realize Turtle Boy was such a fucking problem. He's worse than JLR and all of them.
You mean Tro Mafia? You mean Tro Mafia,
no,
right?
I'm talking about Turtle Boy.
No, you're talking about the...
one that goes out. Yeah, he goes out and like harass. Oh my gosh, it is so bad.
Yeah, but you're breaking up real bad.
Yeah, because I'm
You're
off the screen. Is that a little
Oh.
better?
You might need to talk a little bit more. Yeah, but yeah, you're referring to the video that was done by I think Trauma Off Your Arcade or think like that, and I saw that. That's pretty bad. It was really bad.
It's a Karen Reed case, right? The
Yeah, the Karen
Massachusetts
Reed
thing. Yeah.
case. Oh, it's a disaster.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't looked into it, but it seems like there's going to be there's a lot of probable doubt there, or reasonable doubt there.
There's reasonable doubt, but it's
Yeah, it
allowing this
seems
guy
very
to get.
murky.
Yeah, but it's allowing this guy to do things that he should not do, like talking to witnesses, harassing people, standing outside businesses of witnesses. It's pretty bad.
No, I mean, yeah, it should be. I mean, I know like when people say it should be against the law, but then the problem is then you live in a more and more authoritarian state where you can be like arrested for doing and saying certain things. So I don't know what the answer is, but like these people who are trampling like all over the professionals' work in like serious cases, like, there has to be better ways to restrain them. I mean, they're the minority of people who are this out of control, but I mean, they are really a terror, and the internet has empowered them in a way that would not have been possible, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I guess Queen wants to start the video. We're ready. We'll keep quiet.
Who made this video? Is it Kate Does Crime did it?
No, I think it was Troll
thank you.
Mafia.
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Troll Mafia. All right.
Okay, I know who she is.
Yeah, she's been covering the whole Karen case a lot. And yeah. Yeah, the football game, standing in front of the pizza place of one of the people there, and just protesting, going into the bathroom at one point and filming while talking to, I forgot who he was talking to, but he was filming inside a men's room. It's not good. I think Queen is dealing with the birds. The stream has gone to the birds. Don't laugh too hard, Good Egg.
You know what? I'm scared to even banter with you because I don't know when you're gonna just snap my head right off with your newfound like, what is it called when people like hate all human beings? What's that called? Like a nihilist? Like nihilist beat Tim lately.
How am I a nihilist? How am I a nihilist?
Well, you just have like, we have no love here. I hate all people. There should be no.
That's the opposite of nihilism, actually. Nihilism
How?
is like. All right, I'm gonna have to, because I thought nihilism is when you just don't really believe in anything and you just believe everything's gonna end. Rejection of religions, moral principles, and the belief that life is meaningless. No, I believe life is full. This is a hate chat. I'm opposite. I'm like extreme opposite, where everyone sees light.
Okay.
I see. So that's exactly. So I'm not a nihilist. Again, you got me wrong. Good Egg. I'm
terrified. I don't know which way to step. And then all of a sudden you're watching the nurse that saw the baby on the highway. You are like you are full of absolute joy and laughter. So I'm just trying to find out ways to make you happy, B Tim.
All right. Oh, is Queen back at all? Is she about to hit the play button? Just staring at this thing we're about to hit. Walking on good eggshells. Absolutely walking on good eggshells. Good Egg. Anyway, but yeah, that was funny with the baby though.
Thank you, Paulie or Paul. You're right. Misanthropic, a misanthrope. That's what I was going for, not nihilist.
See?
Thank you, generally, Jenny. There you go.
See?
That's much more correct.
Let me see what.
But he's not really. It's just his new. It's just like a shtick he's doing.
Tim, I'm gonna try not to bite your head off. I'm gonna try really hard. But let me tell you, when you fucking just yelled at me and said, "What are you doing?" and I had to clean up dog puke, and I had to listen to you fucking scream at me about what are you doing, and you're looking at a black screen. I was muted.
Yell at him, Queen. Let it out.
You're fucking right off.
Let it out.
Web sleuths, e-sleuths, and internet detectives are all different names for the same concept. Web users who take to YouTube, Reddit, Facebook groups, and forums to try to solve crimes. Yet, the nexus of crime and social media has opened a Pandora's box of frightening behaviors, manipulation, and tragedy for millions to experience.
This is Kate. And we need to write her channel in there. Tim, do you have her channel? I think, let me go see if I can find it real quick. Kate from I think it's called Masshole Troll Mafia or something, or just Troll Mafia. I'll have to go look and see real fast. But we'll drop it in the chat. She does really good videos, and she does really good live streams. Hold on one sec.
And sometimes take part in real time. The instant public accessibility of a huge number of databases and social media archiving every minutia of our everyday lives in real time has helped the true crime community grow. And though many web sleuths work with empathy and diligence, the exceptions pose dangerous consequences. This is the story of one such exception.
How are we only with a fucking camera? You're a liar. Who are you? He's so angry. Why?
Part First Amendment auditor.
So Tim, he had told us about Turtle Boy a few times. Now, he's not somebody that I am going to choose to follow or get into or be calling out or anything like that. I'm just showing you guys the video that Kate made because they have kind of followed him with the adventures he's been on. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is nothing. I mean, this man has nothing on the tragedy pimps that we had covered. I'm telling you right now, look, they ain't got nothing on him. Nothing on him.
Yeah, he will go
out of this. I'm telling you. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, JLR don't even have the same energy he got. Well, just watch this. This is insane. This video right here blew my fucking mind watching it. I can't believe he has not been taken off this platform yet.
I mean, honestly, I would say JLR definitely has more restraint than this. Has more restraint.
Oh,
than
absolutely, he does. This. I mean, he made JLR look like a fucking saint.
I'd rather be on JLR shit list than this guy. That's for shit.
It's crazy. Sure. I'm serious. I cannot believe that he has not been. I'm so serious. The way he conducts himself, the way he acts, I just can't believe he's still on. I'm so serious when I say this. I cannot believe he has not. When they say there's worse people out there, you better believe.
And this clown, as this corrupt pig. Look at you. Look at you.
Part narcissistic cult leader.
I'm not looking for an argument. This is a direction, a directive. Either you trust me or you don't. Okay? So trust me. When I say something, just fucking please don't argue. Just trust me. That's it. Okay? That's it.
And 100% toxic cry bully.
So I want to make sure the message is sent here. If you fuck with me, if you try to sue me, I'm not going to go after you. I'm going to go after your fucking family.
This is the story of Aiden Kearney and how he is exploiting one community's tragedy to gain attention, clout, and cash, destroying lives in the process and working with an accused killer.
Karen Reed.
Yeah.
So Karen Reed is being, I don't know. She's being accused of murdering her. Was it her husband?
Boyfriend.
It's cop. He's a police officer, and right now, that's who Turtle Boy, aka Aiden. That's who he is. This is the case that he's involved himself in.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because, like, to me, like, I'm not sure if she's innocent or guilty because there's a lot of interesting situations people have brought up in the case, like the marks on his arms and the fact that the dog was shipped away. And, like, that's the thing that's really, I mean, you can't really, the issue is not like, oh, well, do you believe Karen Reed is innocent or not? Because there's evidence that kind of points to both sides. The issue is the ethics of what this guy's doing and kind of messing with people's lives and doing all this crazy shit. So, and it kind of gives him, like, a lot of people are giving him passes in this particular case because, you know, I mean, as much as you might like shit on this guy for his bad behavior, he looks into a lot of things. Like, that's for sure. He will look into a lot. I think he wrote like 200 articles on this case alone on his website. And I did not read them all. I'm just telling you now, there's too much. So this guy looks into cases very in-depthly. But the problem is like his ethics on how he does things. So it's interesting scenario. Like if the guy just sat there and just
it's a case that I would like to talk, like I would like to get into and talk about, but I do not want to get into talking about Turtle Boy or whatever. He can do his own thing.
Yeah.
The case is definitely interesting, and yes, I would love to talk about it, and yes, I'm going to talk about it, but I do not want to go off a tangent about Turtle Boy after, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to show you all this video because Kate did she did an awesome job on this. So make sure you guys go like the video and sub up to it. She did an amazing job on it. But this is something I do want to get in. I do want to get into it and, you know what I'm saying, talk about the case, but I don't want to talk about Aiden on Aiden's coverage of this case, right? You know what I'm saying? I would like to just solely talk about the case instead of talk about his coverage on it. You know what I mean? If you get what I'm saying. All right, here we go.
To harass and intimidate potential witnesses against her.
The look on her face, those are not Betty Davis eyes.
You feel pretty strongly about, wanting to believe everything she says.
Well, here's the thing, Al.
The evidence.
Now, just because you didn't do it.
I said, could I have hit him?
The Lexus taillight breaking, coming in contact with a human being and not a hard surface, makes no sense to me.
Police say they found this at the scene, pieces of broken taillights.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. You all know.
Yes, we do.
Police report presented Wednesday during Karen Reed's arraignment in Stoughton Court provides a clearer timeline of the tragic details leading up to her boyfriend's death. The Mansfield woman, an adjunct professor at Bentley, is accused of hitting John O'Keefe with her SUV Saturday.
New intrigue and even conspiracy theories surfacing around the case against Karen Reed. Her attorneys now poking holes in accusations she hit her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her vehicle and killed him.
Although at first Karen Reed, through her defense, referred to O'Keefe's death as a, quote, tragic accident, in April of 2023, Reed's defense filed an extensive motion detailing an extremely complicated conspiracy theory, absolving Ms. Reed of all responsibility. Around this time, Karen, through a friend, reached out to Aiden Kearney, who immediately started aggressively pushing this theory.
We're all here for the defendant. We're all here for some convicted, some charge. They want us to convict her. They want to convict her. An alleged murderer, Karen Reed. We're all here to support her. I'm not in the habit of supporting murderers, so this is my first time.
And villainizing the victim's friends and family, as well as the owner of the home and his family.
They want to turn John O'Keefe's kids into their kids, because their kids all turn out screwed up. And they want to turn that whole town, that whole incestuous town, into a bunch of Alberts and McCabe's. No doubt about it, but we're not going to let that happen, because the Alberts and the McCabe's aren't going to be around for too much longer.
What the fuck is wrong with Peggy O'Keefe? Oh, she's fucking old. You're being mean to the mother. Well, fuck her too, okay? Fuck.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he Hold on, Kate. I wouldn't say it was a conspiracy theory. They had actual evidence. I was gonna say I don't know who you're responding to, but
He's responding to the video because I mean I could say this much: the person with Tro Mafia, she believes Karen Reed is guilty. So you might see that in this bit of a documentary because she does believe that Karen Reed is guilty.
Yes, okay, so she believes that she's guilty and he believes that she's innocent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right.
So that's why
Well,
you
that's
might
good
see
to
in this
know.
documentary. Yeah, that's why you might see in this documentary a little bit. I'm calling it a documentary because kind of is, where it's kind of pointing towards Karen Reed's guilt a little bit more because in her opinion, she believes that Karen Reed is guilty. She believes that she was drunk and she accidentally hit her boyfriend and probably didn't notice it at the time. I think that's what she believes. That's what generally the belief is. Other people, I think the Turtle Boy belief is that he got out of the car, got into a fight with, I think, someone in the house. A dog might have bit the arm. That's why there's marks on his arms. They decide, I think they took him into his claim is he took him into the house or he was already in the house. And then they took him out, threw him outside to die from, the cold. And then just kind of, just left it there, and they kind of are framing Karen Reed. I think that's the general gist.
We need the court docs. I said, so basically we need the court docs. We need the court documents.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, I read them. I have to pull them up again, but yeah, it's a complicated theory.
If you have them, please send them to me so I can, go over them a little bit.
Yeah, but that's just the general gist of like the theory with Turtle Boy's theory, and it's like. Their theory is that the police are trying to cover it up. That one of the officers brought a taillight over and broke it in the scene area, and that they're trying to frame her to cover it up for the police.
They threw it on the shirt. Okay, here I'll play it because he says it. He says it in here. He gives the example about throwing it on the shirt. They had it for a year, but I don't want to. Here we'll play it.
Fuck her too. You're old and we have to be nice to fucking old people, especially when their fucking kids died and we have to fucking play all nice with you and shit. Well, I'm not gonna be fucking nice anymore. Open your fucking eyes. And yeah, Paul, talk about your mama. What you gonna do about it? You fucking drunk? You fucking raging alcoholic? Fuck those people, man. Fuck them. I don't give a shit.
Thousands of amateur web sleuths believe that the local police, the state police, crime lab, everyone at the home that night, the medical examiner's office, the district attorney, emergency room doctors, the judge, and the victim's own friends and family have conspired together to murder John O'Keefe and cover it up with no articulable motive. And they believe it is all to frame a woman who was seen on camera consuming 7 to 9 drinks before getting behind the wheel of her Lexus SUV, whose taillight was found in pieces near the body, and repeatedly stated to multiple witnesses, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him." Sure, the police found pieces of her taillight in the snow near the body, and the crime lab found microscopic pieces of her taillight in John's clothing. But don't worry, they have an answer for that too.
Can you talk about the taillight fragments on John? Yeah, I'll talk about them real quick. So those were planted by a guy by the name of Michael Proctor. He took a bunch of fucking he took a taillight, smashed it all up, and threw some shit on the shirt, and then held on to it for a year, and then got it tested, and now there's taillight on it. End of story. That's what happened. Do I have evidence that happened? No, but he plants shit all the time, and he's a dishonest hack. And Karen didn't hit him with the car, so how the fuck did those get on there? Michael Proctor put him there. Boom. Mystery solved. Columbo up in this bitch.
But one person who does have a motive to fan the flames on these wild conspiracies is Aiden. And he often articulates it clearly.
How much is going to Karen Reed? Okay. First of all, what a cunty question to ask. How much is going to Karen Reed? Because I
He said, what a cunty question to ask. Well, no, it's really not a cunty question. They want to know how much money are you keeping and how much are you giving to Karen? And he blatantly says he gives her none. He keeps all the profits to himself. Hey, Ellie, what's up?
What's up, Ellie?
Hey, guys. I've been like on a
What's
deep
up?
dive with this Karen Reed, with this whole case, you know? It's pretty crazy.
We're about to start sleuthing it. So,
Oh,
all right,
good.
we're gonna play it, baby. Hold on.
I know
Yeah,
what
they've been.
you're getting at there. You're insinuating that, like, well, certainly a certain amount of this should. Are you keeping it? Are you keeping all the profits? Just to be clear, I'm keeping 100% of the profits and $0 are going to Karen Reed.
Yeah, he said he's keeping 100% of the profits and 0 is going to Karen Reed. So she goes into like, okay, of course you see it says witness intimidation for profit. Wait till you see the fucking things he does. And I don't know how he's not being arrested. I don't get it. I really fucking don't. This is insane to me. This whole fucking thing, the case, the shit he's pulling in this fucking case is blowing my mind. The shit he's able to get away with is blowing my fucking mind. What's up, Kate?
Oh, hey, I came up because I've been following the case too, and if we're gonna talk about it after,
Okay, good. All
I'll hop in the combo.
Yay, we got Kate. Yeah.
I got Kate.
I said we're about to
video the other day.
I'm fucking, but I like I said, I'm diving into the case, not Turtle Boy, but the case itself. So
Queen, do you remember that Dominic case with the kid who set on fire with the tennis ball?
Yep.
He was the guy who covered it, and he didn't cover that case as bad as this one, so I didn't realize how bad he was, because he wasn't nearly as bad when he covered that case, and we watched a couple of his videos then, and he didn't act like this at all. But then when I started watching the stuff he did with this, he definitely crosses the line like way too far, and I'm afraid he is going to hurt Karen Reed's case, because I mean I'm kind of like, I'm a little leaning to her but still in the middle, but I feel like his actions could hurt her case, and that's what's frustrating, I think,
right?
Yeah, I'm more like, I would say like I'm 80% sure she probably did it, or 75% sure.
Really?
but-
80%? I'm still so confused. I don't know. I mean,
I'm like 60-40 on believing she's
Yeah.
innocent.
But
I'm
that-
believing 60 her that she did it.
No, that she's innocent.
Oh, that she's innocent.
she's
40
innocent.
that she isn't. Yeah,
Did you see this comment? Heels just came in and said, for some reason, the DA feels so strongly they have a case that they have raised charges from manslaughter to murder.
Yeah. Also, the DA made a statement. Remember, we played the statement.
Says, she said that she hit him. It was an accident.
Yeah. Also, she admitted that she also was the first one to identify his body. Basically, while they were in the car, she was the one that spotted him in the snow, and that while everyone else couldn't see it while they were driving around looking for him, and so that.
There's
and
also like 20 people who left the house that night who walked right past his
And they
body
got-
and didn't see it either.
Yeah,
You know
right,
what I mean? They said when they pulled up, they could see him right away. So it's kind of weird that like 20 people left that party and not one person saw him laying out in the snow.
Yeah, and the weird thing
Yeah.
is also the dog. They got rid of the dog, and they were like, "That's a little weird."
The dog is sauce too. Like,
They
why did
redid
they
the basement floor? They redid the basement floor. They
redid
got
the
rid of the
basement
dog.
floor?
They
I
tried to
didn't hear about
say that filling in the pool was weird, but they had the permit to fill in the pool long before this happened.
Yeah.
They had the permit to fill in the pool in like October, so that kind of is like they can't say anything about the pool.
Yeah, that's why I'm like a little like 20%. I'm like, oh, she could be innocent, because there's a lot of like very odd behavior, odd things in this situation that doesn't.
That Google search. What about that Google search?
Yeah,
That-
there
that-
was a Google search
Yeah.
by. All right, so the homeowner was Brian Albert. He's a cop. His sister-in-law searched probably, I think, between like 1-2 a.m. when Karen was home and the party was going on. She searched how long to die in the cold.
Yeah,
The
at
woman
like
in the house.
1:37.
Yeah. She searched how long to die in the cold. And then, so that's like the big thing here is like, why did this woman search how long to die in the cold?
And that's how he died. He died because he was
he
left out
died
in the
from
cold.
hypothermia and blunt force trauma. He has all these marks on his arm, and they're saying the marks are from a glass that he had in his hand from the bar. But Karen's defense is saying it's from their dog.
that they got rid of, a dog that they had for what, 7 years.
Yeah.
But why
You
would the
know?
dog bite him after? Like, why would the dog just bite him after like having him for that long? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why would a dog? Was it like a like a violent dog, aggressive dog?
Well, I
No,
think
no,
it
no.
was like a canine, a police canine.
Oh, police canine.
Yeah, it was like a German
Oh.
Shepherd. It was like a big German Shepherd.
But
Yeah.
they adopted them. Maybe like retired and they adopted
Yeah,
them.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
maybe it was like an
Oh.
adopted one. If like
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so basically the theory of the Turtle Boy is basically his theory is that there was a young man, I forgot his name, a young man, he was saying because he, had a fight with him and another guy who's a boxer and another gentleman who's a boxer. I'm not good with the names. And basically they fought him, and also apparently the dog came in to play, bit his arm. They beat him up, and they just kind of, I think, didn't they say like he took him, Turtle Boy's theory is like they took him into the house, and then they took him into the basement, and then they took him out through the garage, just stuck him outside or something like that. And
in a nutshell, they were at a bar together, and then John O'Keefe knew Jennifer McCabe, who was the sister-in-law, because his nieces, who he adopted, were friends with her kids. So she invited him to the party. They head to the house afterwards, but she only invited John. She didn't really offer the invitation to Karen. So Karen told him, hey, go in the house and see if it's okay if, I can come in too. Now, it's good to know context that like a month before then, on New Year's Eve, John got super drunk and they got in a big fight. And she was really mad at him and ended up going and staying home with the kids. Well, this is kind of like what happened again. He was really drunk. He didn't have a coat on. She dropped him off at the door and then waited for him to give her an answer if she should come in or not. And then he never texted her. So she got upset and went home and went to sleep. Well, she wakes up and he's not there. So she panics and enlists the help of Jennifer McCabe, who was at the party, and the neighbor. And then they go looking for him, and they go to Brian Albert's house, is where the party was at. And there he is laying in the front yard in the snow, dead. And supposedly a first responder heard her say, oh my gosh, I hit him. And she says, I guess they maybe believe like either she asked, oh my God, did I hit him? Or she said, oh my God, I hit him. And then there was a broken taillight in the snow, and she had a broken taillight, but there's also video footage of her backing up at their home and backed into a car where she could have broken the taillight then. Her lawyers are saying that he went into the house and that he got in a fight with Chris Albert, who is Brian Albert, the homeowner's nephew. Chris is John O'Keefe's neighbor, and supposedly they don't really like each other. He's like a young kid who I guess they're trying to say, like, there's a lot of pictures that are out there of him, using the middle finger and all that. It doesn't really mean anything, but they're trying to say he's kind of like a, troublemaker, I guess, and that him and John never got along and that a fight broke out, and that so Brian Albert is an MMA fighter, and they're saying that there was a fight that broke out in the basement of the home, and that they beat him up. The dog jumped in trying to be protective, and then, they threw him outside on the front lawn. Well, he had these marks on his arm. Now, the prosecution is saying is from a glass that he took from the bar with him that broke and then, cut his arms. And Karen Reed's defense is saying it's from the dog biting him. Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert's sister-in-law, who was at the party, Googled, probably around the time where the party was going on, how long to die in the cold. And then everybody leaves the party and nobody sees him out on the front lawn, supposedly. There was like, a good amount of people there.
I think that's a little sketch, but they are drunk as hell coming out and it is dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the Google search is the most sketch of all things.
yeah, there was a video also later released of Karen backing into a car at her house, right? And that was the explanation of why there was damage to the backlight.
Yeah. And supposedly there wasn't like the taillight stuff until like the second group of cops got there, Kate.
Yeah, but there was snow. It could have been harder for them to search for the
lead investigator, Michael Proctor. He's good friends with the Alberts, and they said they're not close with them, but there's lots of pictures of their kids together. And they're absolutely friends. And I believe either Brian's daughter or niece is a first responder. Like she works for either like.
Now, what I think she was probably drunk, because I think she's denying that she was drunk, but it's been established that she had a clear liquid in her glass multiple times.
Karen.
Yeah, I think she was drunk, and she probably just, in my belief, I think she just accidentally hit him. And
It could be.
And then they basically were all drunk in the house, and they were just, they just left, and that was pretty much it. And they never noticed his body, because it was like, how many inches of snow in the area at that time?
When it first started, it wasn't that much, but when he was found, it was like a couple inches.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think she accidentally hit him, didn't realize she hit him, and I don't think she did it with malicious intent to murder him. I think she was probably drunk, and she probably hit him accidentally and didn't realize she hit him. But that's just my theory. That's what
and they can't just test the dog bites because they got rid of the dogs.
Yeah, the dog's gone.
Yeah, they got rid of the dog shortly after this all happened.
Yeah.
Aiden is making a lot of money and garnering a lot of attention from simping for accused cop killer Karen Reed.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Vinny.
Let me start here. Aiden, Turtle Boy, what do you prefer?
You can call me Turtle Boy.
Okay, I'll go with Turtle Boy. No, not a problem. I understand. That's what everybody calls you.
But don't be fooled by his blatant self-serving narcissism. This is a mutually beneficial arrangement that Karen and Aiden have worked out. They communicate daily on the Signal app, a messaging service favored by terrorist groups, drug dealers, BLM protesters, and fringe right-wing domestic terrorist groups. It is through this secure messaging app that they are able to exchange information about her defense that has not been made public yet and may not even be admissible at trial.
Sent in on Friday.
What was sent in on Friday?
The motion. I mean, I've had it.
Which motion?
The motion in opposition to the Commonwealth's motion to prohibit extrajudicial states.
I have not received a hard copy yet of that motion. And so it was not received on Friday. That's not true.
It was not received on
It's not on the docket. It's not on the docket, correct?
Wait, I just checked now, and it's there, but there's no image attached to it, so you can't read it.
Right, but I said, though, that it was docketed just a few minutes ago, right? And you told me it was docketed on Friday.
No. It was sent in on Friday.
All right, but I didn't receive it on Friday, so I don't know why you're saying that it was sent in on Friday. What information do you have that it was sent in on Friday?
I have sources.
They can also coordinate some of the most shocking and overt witness harassment and intimidation ever documented on social media.
We will never stop protesting. You think it's uncomfortable now? To get really, really uncomfortable. Disgrace! Disgrace! Disgraceful! Disgraceful! He's a disgrace! Look at him! He's a disgrace! Bring shame to the Boston Police Department! What a loser! What a loser! Shame on you!
Again, another one, man. We're chopping them down. Kerry Roberts, no show. Laura Sullivan, no show. Ken Dugald, no show. This guy behind him, Anthony Bianco, no show. We are chopping these people down one by one and shaming them from coming out. We are shaming.
No, that's fucked up, ain't it?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm surprised they haven't like witness tampering or anything like that with this guy, because he's, I mean, some of his actions are kind of bad, like are really bad. I mean, like obviously they can't really do much about him in the courtroom, but like he's going in front of, like you're later going to see him standing in front of like businesses of people who are witnesses, going into the restroom. I think of the DA when he was going to the bathroom and filming. I'm not sure. It was just ridiculous. Zen, I disagree. I don't even think she would do that, to be honest with you. I don't think she would do this. Because this is worse. Suddenly it's all quiet. Kate's probably contemplating on, I don't know, her turtles. Do you have
No,
turtles, Kate?
I do have a turtle. I do.
Mm.
I have one.
You'll
I
be-
was
you'll-
looking up.
You'll be
Go
the
ahead.
only one that's not going to be harassed by this guy because you have the turtle.
I was trying to look up oh my god, what about the tow truck? There was some kind of thing about the tow truck and I can't remember exactly how it went, but like the time frame of when he called the tow truck to come and I couldn't remember how that went down, so I was trying to find the exact like part of it. Like supposedly Michael Proctor called for like a tow truck, but the timing that he put down on his report or something like didn't line up. So it like gave him like an hour or so to be at. All right. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. All right. So those pieces of the tail light weren't found right away. They were found like the next day when they went back. I think so. Like this is what I remember and I could be wrong. But then there was a time frame where he was supposed to call a tow truck and he had like an hour to be there by himself where he could have potentially planted pieces of a towel light. And then but what he put on the report didn't match up to when the tow truck actually came, I believe. So they didn't find the pieces of tail light when they found him. They found it like the next day. So I know somebody said that they would be able to tell by how much snow was over the tail light, but they didn't find the tail light till like way later. And
Yeah. Is Ellie still here? Ellie's gone.
No, Ellie's here. Kate's here. All right, I'm going to finish this.
Okay.
Shaming them. Public shaming works. Proves that they have nothing and they're all watching this. And I just want to let them know that I'm thoroughly, truly enjoying watching them squirm and struggle and cry and complain and knowing that there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing. They were uncomfortable on Tuesday when they had to walk through that gauntlet of court. They hated that. Oh, shouldn't have let me know that. That's like an invitation to do it louder next time.
The campaign of harassment was at first focused mainly on Jennifer McCabe, a close personal friend of John O'Keefe and his family, and a potential state's witness against Karen Reed. Aiden characterized her as one of the real murderers, despite no criminal charges ever being filed against her, and no evidence to support his claims.
I am so sick of hearing about how we need to leave Jen McCabe alone. She's not being charged with a crime. She's a witness. No, I'm just so sick of the people being like, oh, maybe we should ease up on Jen McCabe. Maybe we shouldn't, actually. Maybe we should increase it. That's what we should do. Maybe I haven't seen Jen McCabe since the lacrosse incident, and she needs to be reminded who her daddy is.
He has accosted her outside of court hearings, harassed her at one of her daughter's lacrosse games, published her name, address, phone number, and social security number on his website, made several trips to her property uninvited, and bombarded her with unwanted calls, text messages, and voicemails.
All of it. Allie McCabe, she can get it too. They can all get it. We've left the second generation out of this for a bit. That's over. Except for Brian Albert Jr., because he looks functionally retarded. But besides him, the rest of them, they're all going to get it. They're all going to get it. And
hey, Jen, how you doing? Fancy seeing you here.
It's a school-sponsored event.
Yes, it is. How do you feel about murder of police officers? How do you feel about murder of police officers? Okay, well, she murdered a police officer.
No, that is so untrue.
Oh, it's not cop killers.
He's going to the school where her children are playing games. This isn't fucking insane. I don't understand how in the fuck he's able to get away with it.
I don't understand how people who watch him support this type of bad behavior. I think it's just bad behavior all around. This doesn't actually, this actually does hurt Karen's case because this guy is just completely fucking it up. Completely.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid he's gonna ruin it for her.
Yes, he's intimidating witnesses. You cannot do that, and they will hold it against her in court. They will.
Yeah, especially if there's some sort of documents that come out that they're communicating with each other. That's not going to be fucking good if that ever does come out. And I think he is hurting her case. I think, her defense is doing, in my opinion, I think his defense is doing a good job by just putting that doubt in there. That's what their job is. But, some people would disagree. But this guy, what he's doing is he's like leaving the boundaries of like basically reporting on the case and just discussing his theories based upon facts that are available to interfering with an actual active court case, a murder case. And it's just really bad. It's bad for everyone. And he's posting someone's social security numbers, their house, their address. And this is just really terrible because
I have it.
You go.
I was just going to say, I have the defense motion. If we need to go back to it, I just found it.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, will you drop it in the back, baby?
I put it in the back.
Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm going to finish playing this.
That's what they are. They're cop killers. So 2 cop killers don't like being asked about it. Oh, there's Jen. Let's see if they come to the door. So I definitely saw Jen in there. I think they can hear us on the ring too. They're in the murder of a Boston police officer. These are cop killers, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cop killer right there. Cop killer. Cop killer. That's what you are. That's all you're ever going to be. It's a cop killer. Once I heard that Jen McCabe goes out in public, once I heard that she does, I'm like, okay, so at least Brian Albert is really doing what he's supposed to be doing, hiding like a cornered rat. That's what you should be doing, is moving out of Canton, picking shit up, leaving. But no, Jen McCabe is so arrogant that she insists on still living life like everything's normal.
While still focused on ruining Jennifer McCabe and her family, Aiden turned his attention to Colin Albert, the teenage nephew of the owner of the home where John O'Keefe was found outside.
You think I'm scared of your fucking pussy son, Colin? Oh, I can't wait to see Colin. I'm gonna have a lot of questions for Colin. And something tells me he won't be able to control his temper like you did. He can get some. He can get some too. There won't be a dog there to back him up this time. I'm not afraid of your stupid son. Believe me, I could kick the shit out of your stupid son. So please.
Although Colin was not at the home at the same time as Karen Reed or John O'Keefe, and is only a teenager who is less than half their ages, this has not deterred Aiden and Karen from targeting him and setting out to ruin his life. Aiden has made it his mission to accuse Colin of murder as loudly and publicly as possible, despite occasionally admitting he has no idea what happened, to attempt to protect himself from civil liability in the future.
Inside 34 Fairview Road, and Colin Albert was present inside. Now, did Colin Albert kill him? I don't know. I can't be sure of that. 2 children are left orphaned because John O'Keefe was murdered by Brian Albert and by Colin Albert and that freaking dog and every other single person in that house who remains quiet to this day.
Colin has become the target of relentless harassment and bullying, perpetrated by adults, some of whom have children his age. He has been repeatedly and explicitly accused of beating John O'Keefe to death, despite no evidence to support these wild claims against him. Like the many potential witnesses in this case, Aiden has barraged Colin with unwanted phone calls, texts, voice messages, visits to his home, baseless accusations, and threats against his life.
This is the Alberts. Let's find out.
The intense cyberbullying and harassment, spearheaded by Aiden, and his baseless accusations tragically prompted this young man to abandon his burgeoning college football career out of fear for his personal safety and the safety of his teammates. This was a fact celebrated by Aiden's followers, who called for Colin to end his own life.
Colin's suicidal, something like that. It's complete bullshit. He's not suicidal, okay? Don't kill yourself, Colin. Turn yourself in, do the right thing. That's what I recommend.
Destroying a young man's psyche is not enough for Aiden, however. He continues to relentlessly harass not only the boy, but his whole family, constantly showing up to his father's pizza shop to proudly ruin the family's business and livelihood and place their employees in fear.
I go down to your pizza shop and I stand out there for an hour and I yell shit about your son. I just shit all over your child, Chris, your middle child. I go down there and I shit all over him and I accuse him of some of the most heinous things possible. And I affect business. People don't want to go into your business because of the things that I'm saying. I'm telling cars going by what your family did and what you're being accused of and what you've done to cover this thing up and what a scumbag you are and how you don't pay your bills. And I'm standing there. And you know where you were, Chris? Hiding in the back.
He's even sunk so low to scare local children in the town in a scene very reminiscent of Chili de Castro's Memorial Day parade spectacle.
Cop killers, cop callers. How ironic. How about that? Blood pizza. Don't get the pizza here. It's tainted in blood. They kill people inside. Well, mostly on Fairview Road or the highway. But, maybe in there too. I don't know. The owners of D&E Pizza, the pizza's covered in blood here because they kill people inside. Watch out. Be careful, kids. There's a couple killers walking loose around your town. They kill people.
And he's verbally attacked other children as well, for no other reason than they were friends or classmates of Colin, in a transparent attempt to leave him humiliated, afraid, feeling constantly under surveillance, and socially isolated.
There's your stupid kids, Michelle Gallery. Your stupid cunt daughters, that's what they fucking are, hanging out with this fucking worthless piece of shit. There's Colin again with her stupid, useless twin daughters. That's a prom photo. I guess this is a prom with Colin. Yes, I figured that one out. Yeah, it's a prom one. So I guess they went to the prom together. So that's how close they are. So that's fine. You can get some too, Michelle. You got an address too, right? We can knock on your door as well.
This will be the first statement of its kind in my dozen years as Norfolk District Attorney. The harassment of witnesses in the murder prosecution of Karen Reed is absolutely baseless. It should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop. Some have, without any evidence, pointed to 18-year-old Colin Albert, a nephew of the homeowner, and accused him of attacking John O'Keefe as he entered the home. But phone evidence shows O'Keefe never entered the home at all. Testimony from witnesses tell us that 18-year-old Colin Albert had left his uncle's home before John O'Keefe and Karen Reed had arrived outside the residence. Colin Albert didn't commit murder. Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, and Brian Albert. These people were not part of a conspiracy and certainly did not commit murder or any crime that night. They have been forthcoming with authority, providing statements, and have not engaged in any cover-up. They are not suspects in any crime. They are merely witnesses in the case.
After the district attorney put out a statement condemning the ongoing witness harassment, Aiden flew into a narcissistic rage and graduated from harassing John O'Keefe's family and friends and any potential witnesses against Karen Reed, to also harassing investigators and prosecutors involved in her case.
Are they fucking kidding me? I mean, they are declaring war on us, man. I'm not even kidding. From the headline alone, they are declaring war on the First Amendment. Do you understand, Michael Morrissey? I've listened to 10 seconds. If the rest of your speech is anything like the first 10 seconds, expect me to pitch a
fucking tent outside of your house, and you will never sleep. Just understand that.
So, what do you guys think about that?
I think I'm pretty shocked that YouTube doesn't do anything about this guy. Because
I'm surprised he's fucking on here still. This is crazy to me.
I mean, he's gonna be like the armchair detective soon if he keeps this fucking shit up. He's gonna be gone.
I think like going up against cops, there needs to be somewhat of an aggressive approach, but he takes it like way too far. Like he like this is like beyond cool. The stuff he does, like don't be showing up at kids' football games, and I don't know, like you can't be harassing families and stuff. But I mean, just it would be fine if he was just putting the evidence out there and like being aggressive about getting the evidence out there, but this is just a no, and it's gonna hurt.
How about threatening? What is he? The district attorney? Did he was that a threat? Like you'll never be able to sleep. I'm gonna pinch a dent in your. You know what I mean? Like what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're making a threat against someone like that. It's not smart.
No, I meant like Karen Reed's defense is going up against cops, and if you're putting the case out there and you're trying to get the evidence, for people like media wise, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you do have to kind of like if there is some conspiracy, I feel like it does need to be like out there to get the word out because they have more.
Now, I have a question for you, Kate. Norkel Girl says, "Is this the first time he has done this?" Now, you said you follow him.
No,
Another
he's
case.
done this in other cases. Norcal, I don't know if you remember. All right, so I know he's done this in other cases, but I didn't realize he was this bad because we had followed him to some extent during the Dominic case. That little kid who, his mom was saying that these kids threw a flaming tennis ball at him and lit him on fire, and then Turtle Boy got really into that case, and he put out the evidence that they didn't light the kid on fire. They were all playing with gasoline, and the kid accidentally like lit his cell phone fire, and the kids tried to save him and put it out. And then the mom kind of like used that situation to get a bunch of money and blame the kids in the neighborhood. And she bought a new house and a horse and all that stuff. And these other kids looked like evil, like these evil kids that bullied the kid and threw a tennis ball at him, which that didn't really happen. And he covered that. And
my friend Ashley interviewed the mom. Like she interviewed the mom, and I think she's still friends with her, to be honest.
So he covered it from that point of view, and he didn't act nearly as bad as this. So when I first started following this, I was like, oh, I remember him from that. But then I started watching how crazy he was going in this, and I was like, all right, like he's taking it too far. But in that other case, he didn't get nearly as bad. Yeah, the mom did go on a couple panels, yeah. But he was kind of the one that like, made a big deal out of that and brought that to the forefront. But he didn't act nearly as bad as he is here. I don't know, like, what is going on with all this? It's crazy.
Yeah,
that mother raised a lot of money.
Yeah, also he's putting himself, like, civilly, he could be fucking sued to oblivion. Because he's making statements of facts like you're cop killers, he's harassing them, he's harassing a business. That could show damages if that business suddenly loses money on that particular day than normal. I mean, he's setting himself up for a gigantic fucking lawsuit if these people actually decide to sue him. And it's not worth it. I mean, like, I get he's making money now. I get this guy's making money. But, like, as a person who's, we were getting a little bit familiar, it costs a lot of money to defend yourself in a lawsuit. So him putting himself out there like that, where he's making statements of facts of cop killers, protesting in front of businesses to fuck with their business, so that could show loss of income, loss of reputation. He's fucking and he's pissing these people off to the point where they might just pull the trigger and say, fuck it, let's sue him. Let's sell some property. Let's put $40,000 behind on the side and just fucking fuck with this guy's life. He doesn't realize that he's going to really put himself in this bad position because he's crossed the line many times so far. And his threats about going after people's families if they sue him, well, that's not going to look good in a clip when they do sue you, because that's just going to make things even worse. And if you think Critical K is bad, that lawsuit, you will lose more money than her. Guarantee if they decide to sue you. And you're putting yourself bad. And I would probably caution this man to step back, this Turtle Boy guy. Like step it back a lot and just focus on the facts of the case, because you're putting yourself in a very, very bad civil situation. A very bad situation. You will not recover from this. You will lose in this case. But anyway, if you want to continue playing. Okay. Yeah,
I am going to shove the First Amendment up your fat ass. If you can, apparently I need to teach you what it is, because they never taught you.
He began harassing the two investigators on the case and their families, inundating them with calls and threats. He focused intensely on the wife of Trooper Michael Proctor, going so far as to tell her that her husband will be jailed before threatening to kidnap their children.
Both her and Michael should be in jail. And and tell you what, Lizzie, those two boys you have, Daddy's got to go to prison. I'll teach him how to throw a football, okay? We'll play catch in the backyard. They're my kids now, and that is my promise to you, Lizzie Proctor, because your children, I just want you to let you know this, Lizzie Proctor, when you're watching this, like your worst fear is going to happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing, Lizzie, you can do about this. You are an evil woman and a horrible excuse for a mother, just a horrible excuse for a mother.
Adding another layer to the threats, Aiden has visited the Proctor's home uninvited on 3 separate occasions, menacing around their property, and on one occasion, bringing a group of angry people to their home to scream accusations and insults. He also has been harassing Trooper Yuri Buchanik, another investigator on the case, accosting him outside of court hearings, and even filming him at the urinal in a men's room without his consent.
You disgust me. You loser. You loser. You freaking loser. Bukaki. Bukaki loser. Bukaki loser.
So you think Michael Proctor planted that evidence? Not seriously. Just me and you in here. Come on.
He has escalated to personally harassing the district attorney as well.
Fucking insanity right there. Wow. What the fuck? Are y'all... What the...
You're flabbergasted. You're flabbergasted. Oh, yeah. And now he's harassing the district attorney too. Holy fuck. I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked no one does jack shit. And he's wearing a Google shirt too. Yeah, that's kind of
yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's not gonna look good for if this ever catches on mainstream media about the harassment this guy does, and Google's gonna be asked that question, like, so do you support this type of content on your platform? And he says, no, we don't support nothing like this, and his channel gets deleted immediately with some bullshit reason, like whatever they do, Let me see.
Okay, Queen, this guy, I just figured out, I just want to say one thing. I think I figured out how I would describe this guy. He's like Jim Terry, if Jim Terry ever actually left the van that he lives in and went anywhere. I'm sure that's the exact description.
Jim Terry ever left the van. That makes so much sense too.
It's like just as vile, but he's actually showing up. So I guess if somebody said if he was a mix of anybody, he'd be a mix of Jim Terry and somebody who's a heels on the ground type person. A bad combination.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God! Someone says if Jim and Horns have a kid, oh no. Crime. Who's crime?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly.
Yeah, holy fuck.
Calling his home after 11 o'clock at night and doxing his number to thousands of his cult followers online.
Hello?
Live to tape. Hi, is this Mrs. Morrissey?
Yeah.
Yes, hi, this is Turtle Boy calling. Is Mike home?
No, he's not home right now.
Oh, where is he?
Out.
Oh, is he drinking? It's 11 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Really none of your business. Good night.
When can I see him? She said it's none of my business. He says it's none of my business. 617. I don't know. He says it's none of my business. What a cunt, huh? Wow. Hi, Michael Morrissey. Daddy's here. This is Dr. Turtleboy calling. You told me to leave Jen McCabe alone and to stop asking her questions and to stop and be nice to Colin Albert and Brian Albert. Those guys killed a cop. I guess you're okay with killing cops. You're obviously, a fat, useless piece of shit. So that doesn't surprise me. I'm going to show up to their kids' football games. I'm going to be everywhere that they go. And I'm going to do the same with you. I know you don't like it when people come to your house. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's not a threat. I'm an award-winning journalist. Are you worried that you're going to die in federal prison? Just want to know what you think of that. So give me a call back when you get this. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye. We'll see if he calls back.
He has even called and harassed D.A. Morrissey's son, who has nothing to do with the case at all.
So this is Turtle Boy from Uncle Turtle Boy Daddy from Turtle Boy Daily News. Are you familiar with the blog?
I'm familiar with who you are, and this is his son, yes.
Oh, you're his son. What's up with your dad? Why is he such a scumbag?
That's not very nice.
Do you think Karen Reed's innocent?
I don't.
What makes you think she's guilty?
Like, why does it matter?
I don't want to influence anything here, but if that was my dad, I'd be like, Dad, can you stop doing things that send you to prison? Just saying. Tell your dad to call me back. He's got my number now, okay? Okay.
Aiden is aware that his actions are very much criminal. He doesn't care because he has leveraged his social media presence and willingness to engage in harassment and intimidation to a point that he feels that he is above the law.
They've already made up their mind. You're not talking them out of it. Don't talk to cops. So that's all I got to say about that. And I will never talk to you motherfuckers. Lawyer! And I'm going to get a good lawyer too. And me and Karen Reed can have our own his and her charges. And you can try to do all that. But that's it.
Whether Karen Reed is found guilty or not, one fact will remain. Through her quest to avoid jail time and Aiden Kearney's quest for notoriety, they have together created dozens of additional victims in an already tragic case. And the majority of these victims are the very people John O'Keefe loved and cared for most. His family, his friends, and his brothers in blue. And this is the dark side of the true crime community, a community that, albeit well-intentioned, can be a breeding ground for bad actors who exploit tragedy and cause real damage for clicks, views, and cash. If this behavior is allowed to continue unchecked, a cottage industry of unscrupulous individuals like Aiden could pop up to the benefit of accused violent criminals and to the detriment of their victims. Regardless, we cannot forget, a man lost his life and his family is grieving. He was an officer, a friend, a son, a brother, an uncle, and a guardian. The wheels of justice turn slowly, and for good reason. Harassing these witnesses and loved ones brings no justice or dignity to John O'Keefe and spits in the face of his legacy. This is about the legacy of a man who loved his family, his friends, his profession, and his community fiercely. A man who would do anything for them without anything in return. This is about justice for John O'Keefe.
Man, tell me what y'all think about that.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's definitely like a little documentary, but Jesus Christ, man. This guy is the worst. He's like really bad.
Yeah. In this case, I mean, whether you believe she's guilty or innocent, I think Kate did a really good job on this. I think she did an amazing job on this video.
Troll Mafia.
Troll Mafia stuff.
Yeah, I mean, though I will say that she's a little bit too late with the cottage industry. You're a couple of years late. You're about like a couple of years late. There's already cottage industry that does this already. So I would probably edit that part out. There's already cottage industry of doing shit just like what he's doing now. It's just not as severe. You know? Yeah. Yeah, the case is interesting. The problem is that a lot of people give bad actors like this passes because, you know, I mean, some of them say, well, this doesn't make sense. This, you know, I think Karen Reed's innocent. That's just me. That's not my belief, but I'm just saying that. And they give people passes, and they've given this guy too many passes to the point where he's harassing people that he should not be harassing. He should be, I don't know what he thinks his role is. He thinks his role is to be a, I don't know, punishing people, some sort of pressure campaign that he wants to do to these people. Pressure campaigns, that's not your job. Your job is to report the facts that you see and then give your opinion based upon those facts. It's not to, and do some investigation, maybe like, investigative journalism type deal. But it's not, your job is not to do pressure campaigns on potential witnesses and stuff like that. Because even if that person confessed to you, it would never be used in court. Just wouldn't. But anyhow. Yeah, it was Kate from Tro Mafia. So let me just pull it up. So Tro Mafia has been following this guy for quite a while, actually. So they kind of handle a lot of this is their channel. They handle a lot of interesting characters. Let's just say that much.
This is their channel, and yeah, they handle a lot of different cases, like a lot of different First Amendment auditors. But I didn't know that. I guess I realized how bad this one was.
Yeah, it can get very messy when you're dealing with people like that because they know the law, they know how to push things in the law, and it can be a very, very tricky situation with them. So they go through a lot of shit. They go through a lot of shit. How many
she's been sued. How many times?
Was it like 3 times or 4 times?
3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go after people like they go after, you're putting yourself out there for a lot of headaches, like a lot of lawsuits,
Yeah,
a lot of situations.
She's been doxxed. Yeah, that is exactly what it is, Willow. That is exactly who it is.
Yeah, that is who it is, Tro Mafia. Yeah, and they've been following the Karen Reed case. Now, she has formed her opinion. She believes that Karen Reed hit and killed her boyfriend accidentally. Well, I don't know if it was accident. I'm not sure of her thought process. But that's her belief. That's why you see that kind of... But, you know what I mean? Like, everyone can have their own opinions on things. But based upon the facts, every person interprets facts a little bit differently in certain ways. But... I think she did a pretty good job here, like a really good job. Really, really good job.
Yeah, she did do a good job on it. I think it's one of those cases that if you read everything, it is hard to say either way. Like it's,
yeah, you can make an argument in either case, either way.
There's enough, there's a lot of evidence from both sides where it's like, it's hard to really say one or the other.
Like the dog, I mean, I don't know how you would explain the dog being given away and there being marks on his arm. To me, I just don't understand. And the defense and the prosecution hasn't really given a good explanation on it, and they haven't gone for that dog to test out and see it just to close that loophole. And all the defense needs to do is do reasonable doubt, just like the Adelphi case. They threw those defense documents out there to throw a little bit of reasonable doubt, and that's the main thing with defense teams. They throw a theory with reasonable doubt, and they're
I think there's definitely reasonable doubt for sure. Like
for the Karen Reed case, yeah,
for this, and like the one part. So it says it was at 2:27 a.m. the Google search, the how long to die in the cold, and then I believed it was searched again later, like early in the morning, but it was spelled differently. So, like. At first I was like, oh, well, maybe it was like a time mix up or something. But the spelling was different on the second one. That was later in the morning.
Yeah.
And trying to see what they say about. All right, so the dog is a German Shepherd canine response. Read that 'cause I'm guessing it might have been one of the like cop dogs or whatever.
She must have been really hammered on the second time. Let me see. Who's the second time? Who are you talking about? I believe the husband knew something other the other officers. They set him up and then set her up, and the murder is my theory. Well, everyone has a theory on what, and each side. That's the whole point of a trial. Is like everyone puts out their theories and evidence. But my issue is that you shouldn't be doing what the guy's doing right now. Is harassing people and shit like that, and witnesses and stuff like that. That's crazy. I think it actually undermines an actual trial, an actual fair trial, and But that guy has written a lot of articles. He has a website. And he's got I don't know if he's got more now, but that man writes a lot, like 200 plus.
Yeah, he has
There's
a
no
blog.
way you could. Yeah, there is no way you can read all that shit unless you spend like a good 2 days reading all his stuff. He's got a lot. He's got a lot.
I'm not sure when the trial is. Let me see if I can find a date.
Thank you.
And even the arm wounds, I looked up both, like dog bites and glass, and it could it looks kind of like it could be either. Like it looks like dog bites, and then some of them look like glass. So I'm not really. It's hard to say, is it glass or dog bites?
Yeah, but I don't know why they never really got the dog to compare its bites or something like that. Someone.
Yeah, I wish that I feel like is a big deal. Like if they could get the dog and get his teeth impressions or something and compare that, I feel like that would be huge.
But the one thing I do have a feeling why is the defense, if they really are convinced that it's dog bites, why aren't they not trying to go out there and get an investigator out there and try to get these try to get some sort of canine teeth marks or something from that dog? And to me, that kind of works against the defense when I think about it, because I say to myself, if you really believe this will exonerate your client, and this is the silver bullet that will exonerate your client, you would send out a team. You would try to do anything in your power to get that evidence. So I have that leaning. That's why I say 80%, because I'm thinking to myself, is this a tactic of the defense to raise reasonable doubt, or is this a tactic of do they really believe that? And I think, in my mind, I think it's a tactic to raise reasonable doubt. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm often wrong, unfortunately, but that's why I came with the 80%, because some of the things they're saying is they're not really pushing it. You know what I mean? Also, the DNA, wasn't there DNA found in the back of the human DNA found in the back of the car?
On the back of her car? Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
Because I thought I'd seen that. Yeah.
Like on the taillight, maybe.
Yeah, and that was the thing I saw. They collected human DNA. I don't know if they ever tested it. I don't know about the courtroom, but there's a couple of things that kind of raise your eyebrows. Like, oh, well, I agree, but imagine they believe the head trauma came from striking.
Oh, they claim they found hair, human
Yeah,
hair, likely
that's it.
from O'Keefe on the bumper, but they're not saying it. It just says likely to be from him.
Oh, okay. Why haven't they not been able to test it? Or
I don't know.
Yeah, that's odd.
So after 19 months or so of saying it's human hair in the back of the bumper, it turns out it's not hair. Oh wait, hold on, let me read this. Any suggestion that we're desperately withholding evidence from the defense because we're afraid of what might show is adamantly ridiculous. Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally responded, explaining evidence continues to be tested at the state crime lab. Once this sort of round of testing is completed, we will certainly pick up those items and make them available for cancel. Another contentious exchange at Friday's hearing centered around DNA testing on what prosecutors initially claimed to be human hair, likely from O'Keefe found on Reed's back bumper. Defense attorney Alan Jackson argues DNA analysis resulted in no human DNA being detected. So after 19 months or so of saying it's human hair on the back of the bumper, it turns out it's not hair.
Ah, okay. Thank you for that. I thought, because I was reading articles about that, and they said human hair, and did not know that. So that's
Yeah, so they're saying that it's tested and it wasn't human hair or whatever. I don't know what it was.
and that goes against the prosecution's case, obviously.
So it says the crime lab found no human DNA from the sample collected at the back of Reed's vehicle because there was an insufficient amount of detectable skin cells at the root.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying.
Let me see.
The defense is also seeking video footage from a Nest camera in the home the night of January 29th, but the homeowner has claimed the camera was not set up or recording.
Yeah, and that's Remy. You're correct. There is a video of backing up into a car with the back headlight, and that's what the defense is basically saying. That's why it was broken, because it was already broken at her residence, not the other residence. Yeah. Important to note, the reason why the defense filed about these other theories was because they were trying to reduce her bail. Nothing's going to be laid out thoroughly until the trial. Well, there's been a trial, actually.
Thumb Thug, yes. The Google search was done by someone inside at the party. The Google search was done by Jen McCabe, which is Brian Albert's wife's sister. So it's his sister-in-law. At 2:27 a.m., she Googled how long to die in the cold. So they're saying that he was beat up and taken outside and left in the snow. And then she Googled how long to die in the cold. And then later it was Googled again, like early in the morning, but it was spelled differently that time. And there's marks on his arm that they're saying look like dog bites from Brian Albert's dog, but the dog was given away. They're saying that it's glass marks from a glass that he was holding. They believe like Karen backed into him and didn't know, and that he broke the taillight and the taillight pieces. Now, they found the taillight pieces the very next day. It wasn't that morning. And the defense is claiming that Michael Proctor, who is a friend of the family, now they denied it and said that they weren't close, but there's lots of pictures showing his family at their family parties and their kids taking photos together. So they're definitely friends. They claim he had like an hour or so. There's like an hour time frame where he could have been at the scene by himself, that they believe he could have like planted the tail light. So so they're trying to say she backed into him and killed him, and that's how the tail light broke. But there's also a video of when she leaves to go search for him at her home, and she backs up into a car. So the tail light could have been broken from that.
Yeah, or she could have, there's other theories. Maybe
could have
she
been either or. Yeah, like she could have hit him and he broke it, or she backed into the car.
Let me see, Court TV, Karen Reed video.
And then Brian Albert, I believe, so Michael Proctor is the lead investigator. He was also the lead investigator on that woman who was killed by her husband. The heck was her name? He claimed that she went to Washington to work in Washington, but really he like killed her in the basement and like cut her all up. Walsh, I think her name was Walsh. Anna Walsh, maybe. He was the lead investigator in that too. But
yeah, Queen, if you want me to, I'm just saying, Queen, if you want me to share my screen to show the backing up of the car, the video on Court TV, because I think we mentioned it a couple of times. If you wanted to show it.
Yeah, she would have had to do a 3-point turn, they're claiming, Remy, like in order for her to turn around and go home.
Damn it. What do you, so Kate, I have a question as a side note. Do you think it's a dog or do you think it's the birds?
I'm gonna go with the dog.
Yeah, she did have issues with them. cleaning up after the dog. Let me see.
I have like the defense motion if people want to read it. Put it in chat.
I gotta look for the prosecution one a while ago.
Yeah, I read the prosecution one, but it was a while ago. I don't
Yeah.
remember it.
Well, damn, hold on. Is that baby Gap in here?
Yeah.
Fancy seeing your two-faced fucking ass in here. Well, god damn, look what the fucking cat drug in. I ain't heard you speak a fucking word about this goddamn case, so why in the fuck would you come in here and say you're glad people are talking about it? You ain't spoke a fucking word about it, have you? Haven't heard you. Well, I don't listen to your shit either, but...
Well, anyway.
Real fucking rich you to come in here and say a motherfucking anything in here. Oh, you know, I'm blocked in your fucking chat and have been for 3 years, and your bitch ass still ain't blocked in mine.
We talked about this a while ago in here, though. It wasn't like...
Yeah, I talked about this about a month ago. I think.
I'm glad people are talking about this case. What the fuck?
We've been talking about it.
Yeah, I talked about it about a month ago about Turtle Boy. I actually showed the video of the with the district attorney making that statement. By the way, Queen, do you want me to share the video of the backing up of the car, of the SUV that they're?
Sure, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Sure.
Like I said, I've seen Kate cover it, and I think she did a great fucking job on the video. So,
yeah, let me see. Here's the. So this is what they're talking about. This is Kate's. This is the defense. It's from Court TV, and this is their. Yeah, I'll play it. I'm just keeping it muted, but yeah, see, this is what they're talking about. So she's backing up. And she hits the car. You see the car moving over here and then pulls out. And that's what they're referring to, why there was damage in that area. But I'm not sure if
it's easier to tell. Like, I can't tell from here, but I don't know how I'd have to see pictures of like what the crack looked like. I remember seeing shards of it, but I can't tell there though.
Yeah, but that's what they're claiming, how it got broke from hitting this car here. And it clearly did hit it. You saw this car shake. So it did hit it. It's just that's what they're wondering if, like, you know. Now, this was after this was before after she dropped off or was it before they dropped off her boyfriend, Kate?
This is after. This is in the morning when she was going to go look for him. Like,
oh, so this was the morning. Okay, thank you.
So this was supposedly after she had killed him with the taillight, like, or after, like, it would have been already. It should have been broken already at this point because they were saying that she hit him and the taillight broke, and then she went home, and then, this is the morning where she goes to search for him.
Okay, let me see. So, okay, I'm sure that's been analyzed. Let me see. Trying to see if I can notice if it's broken right now.
I thought it looked like it was still intact. Like, I don't see.
Yeah, it looks intact to me.
Yeah, and this would have been after she hit him. Like,
yeah,
because I believe early in the morning she had just it wasn't even snowing that bad. It just had started snowing around then, and then they said, on her way to go search for him, she backed into the car.
Yeah. Looks intact to me. Let me see. So it looks intact, especially at this.
Well, there's nothing. Okay, look, if she did back up, and hit it, there's no particles on the ground, though. Do you see anything on? I don't see any headlights or anything on the ground.
The hard thing is that it's like literally like it looks like it's a snowstorm still. It's still snowing, so it's kind of hard to tell. Let me see. Okay,
so they're claiming the pieces in the snow were at Brian Albert's house. Like, that's where they found the pieces, which would have happened hours before this. So
So how long was he gone before they went to go look for him?
So she went home around 1:30. She fell asleep around 1:30, and then she woke up in the morning. I believe she texted him like, "Where the hell are you?" Like, cursing him out, whatever. And then they went to go look for him. It was 5 something in the morning when they went to go look for him, and they went to Brian Albert's house, and there he was, laying in the snow.
Yeah.
But when they asked her, she said that it was an accident, that she hit him. It was an accident. Is that what I'm getting? Is that what they're saying? Or
That's what the prosecution, I think, was it. They're not quite saying it that way, but I think it's an act. I think my personal opinion is that she was drunk and she hit him.
They're
But
saying they overheard her say that, but so I know his daughter. So I'm curious about who said it, because I believe someone in Brian's family, either his daughter or his niece is like a first responder or something. So I guess they're trying to I don't know who threw that in there. And then the other lady who said she heard her say it, she's friends with Jen McCabe and them because she left with them after court one day. So they're saying that she was like, "Oh my God, could I have hit him?" or whatever. And I guess it could be either she's saying that she knew she hit him, or she was like, "Oh my God, did I hit him?" You know what I mean? Or whatever. But that's what they're saying they overheard. But I think it was taken out of context the way she said. Like, I think she would be like, "Oh my God, could I have hit him?" You know what I mean? Like, questioning herself in a panic. But yeah, like, what if I did hit him? I hit him. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Let me see.
all right, I'm gonna play this. It says accused slain cop's girlfriend maintains innocent. This is Nightline. So I'm gonna play just a few minutes of it. I'm not gonna play a bunch of it, but we'll play a little. She comes on. So.
Outside this courthouse in Canton, Massachusetts, supporters swarmed around Karen Reed, charged with murder in January 2022 death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Reed has strenuously denied the allegations.
I did not kill John O'Keefe. I've never harmed a hair on John O'Keefe's head.
Her defense, bare-knuckled and bold, is making national headlines. Her lawyers alleging in court documents that a fellow police.
So there's the marks on his arm right there. So we'll have to get more pictures where we can actually see them up close. You know what I mean? But you can see the marks on his arm. They were saying that those are the dog's marks. Kate?
Sorry, say that again? Yeah, they're saying that's the marks from the dog. So if you
Right.
it's hard to see from here, but if you look up closer, like by where his elbow is, there's more of a cluster where it kind of looks like a dog bite, and then the other ones look like scratches or something to me. But the one by his elbow, I looked up dog bites and kind of compared it. It's hard to see from this far away, but if you look a little closer, it does look similar to a dog bite, but the ones up on the top of his arm don't look like a dog bite to me. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't know which one.
That's the thing. I'm not sure with those marks.
Because if you look at the elbow one closer, there's it looks like a cluster, like it could be teeth.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Willow. To me, it doesn't look like a dog bite to me, but the whole point is reasonable doubt. So if you're a defense attorney, this is a good, a lot of showmanship and basically saying, hey, look, they got rid of their dog and these marks here, and it works well for the defense there, and also raises reasonable doubt because the prosecution can't explain it because the prosecution explanation is kind of not great. It's actually worse than defense's explanation for those marks. So you're kind of left in a lurch where you're like, where these marks come from? They don't look too much. They look kind of like a dog, but not entirely like a dog bite, and they don't look entirely like all glass. And if it was glass, where did they get cut like that? So and now you have to decide whether a person's guilty of murder and and throw them in jail for a while. Got rid of the dog quick, sold the house, and at a big loss. The house thing I can explain, Remy. I think like the house thing, maybe like they just didn't want to deal with the controversy. Because imagine this, like you have Turtle Boy going after you. So maybe you want to get rid of the house just so you don't be fucking annoyed by him. So the house thing can be explained, and plus there was someone who died in front of your house. So you might not want to, come home anymore in that particular house. The dog thing I can't explain because this dog you've had for 7 years or a couple of years and you just got rid of it. That seems kind of weird to me. Maybe there's an explanation. I don't know. Maybe they were there before his death from another altercation. I don't know. Let me see. My scars show the puncture points. Is that his arm? He wouldn't get injuries on his arms like that if he got knocked, if just knocked him without realizing. Could have been attacked. Yeah, I mean, that's the defense's assertion that is that the proper term? Assertion? Assertion it probably is. Assertion that it's basically the dog did it, basically. To get rid of the family pet like that, it just seems weird too. Well, you and me both, Remy. That is weird. I can give you that one. People love their pets. Kate, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's weird they got rid of the dog. I mean, the timing of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that something about the dog having some kind of behavior problem or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's that's for sure, but I don't know. All right, we'll finish it. Here we go.
Police officer was involved in O'Keefe's death and colluded with other people in a cover-up. You're alleging that law enforcement officials in the state committed murder and that they're covering it up. Why would they want to be involved in this?
Because he's dead. I think things went too far. It was late. There was alcohol involved, but they're all family. And there's many of them involved.
After posting bail, Reed has spent much of the past 18 months in and out of court awaiting a trial date.
And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. It just feels like no one else wants it.
Prosecutors allege that Reed hit O'Keefe with her car after getting into an argument earlier in the day, leaving him to die in the middle of a snowstorm in January 2022. But Reed says she had no reason to harm her boyfriend.
I would call him the patron saint of Canton. He was just very selfless, frugal, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that didn't care for John.
The couple first dated in their 20s and reconnected more than a decade later in the middle of the pandemic. So how did you meet up again?
So they dated before, split, and then got back together.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely makes you stop and think for sure, don't it?
Yeah, definitely stops and thinking.
Creative Woodstock says, I don't think the dog killed him. I think someone was involved. Yeah, I think so. I don't think the dog.
Well, no, their allegations the dog helped, grabbed onto him, and that the professional, like the MMA guy, and the other, what's the officer's name that they're saying that has the MMA that they're claiming beat him up?
Brian Albert, the homeowner. He's a trained MMA fighter, and Colin, his nephew, was John's neighbor, and supposedly they didn't get along. Like they had, like a neighborly beef. And when he showed up to the house, they're claiming they believe that Colin started a fight with him and that his uncle jumped in and then the dog jumped in and then they beat the brakes off him and stuck him out in the front lawn. And then the sister-in-law Googled how to die and how long to die in the cold. And then everybody left the party. Nobody's seen him there.
Mm-hmm.
And then later in the morning, she wakes up, goes, and they enlist the help of Jem McCabe, the one who made the Google search, and his neighbor. And then they go look for him, and they pull up to the house, and there he is laying on the front lawn. And then she goes, supposedly, oh my God, did I hit him or whatever?
Yeah.
Or I hit him.
But the interesting thing, didn't the younger gentleman that they're claiming, like the defense is claiming as part of the altercation, didn't they say that like he basically the prosecutor said that he left before he even arrived? Like
At
he
the
left
party,
earlier.
you mean?
Yeah, he left the party earlier.
Wait,
I don't know.
John?
Yeah. Before
No.
John
So
O'Keefe arrived.
Colin and like the kids and stuff were having a party at the house.
Yeah.
Or supposedly. And then they all went to the bar. John was at the bar. John wasn't there earlier that day though. It was
No. I'm saying like like they're saying that the altercation with John was with the younger guy and the MMA guy, I forgot names, and the dog. But the younger guy, they're claiming. Didn't someone say that the younger guy left earlier?
Well, they're saying they believe he left early. They got him out of the house. Like, get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? And made him go home. Well, that's what the defense is saying, that, he left and then they covered it up or whatever. But I'm not sure what time, if it was before John got there, but I don't know why they would bring this all up if he left before then, but maybe. But they made it seem like he left. He caught a ride home with somebody, and they were saying like they believe that, he caught a ride with this person right after everything transpired and was out.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes him more suspect. Why'd she call him frugal? That's like a weird word to use for like somebody that had passed away, frugal. Did you hear that? She just called him frugal. I don't know.
No clue. I missed that, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, maybe frugal's a good thing. I mean, I thought frugal was a good thing.
Well,
maybe she means like frugal, like she would give anybody anything, or like.
Oh, okay. I think a frugal is like, I don't know, like
not spending
not
a lot.
Giving. Yeah.
No. Frugals usually means like you don't spend too much. Like,
yeah, maybe that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you're not like
not a bad thing, but yeah, no, I mean it's just like
It's usually a good thing, actually. You're not like someone who just buys shit.
To do? Yeah, that is a weird word, I guess.
It's just a weird word to like use. I'm saying because, like you said, like look, it can be used many different ways. Maybe that's it.
Allie
I'm
broke
sorry.
The case. Allie broke the case.
See, Willow thought so too. I mean, that was like the first weird thing I've heard her say.
Detective.
It can mean
Detective
frivolous.
Willow.
Maybe she used the word wrong.
Maybe like frugal. I feel is somebody that is like cheap a little.
We figured out the motive. We figured out the motive.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Sofa King. The police didn't search the house, and then the homeowners. All right, so here's what I thought was weird. If a fellow cop died on my front lawn, like Brian Albert's a cop, John O'Keefe's a cop, why did John never come out of his house when all this was going on?
Well, I thought it was weird that they already knew he was coming over, and they saw the car in the driveway, right? And no one decided to go out to say, "Hey, how you doing?" or let him in and say, "Hey," and then when like basically just pulls in. And didn't they text?
Knew he was on his way. He was texting Jen.
Yeah, that's what I thought was weird. Like, why did no one open up the door and say, "Hey, how you doing, man? What's up?"
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just thought that was weird to me. That's why I'm
weird.
Because like if someone invites me to their house, at the very least, they would open up the door or they'll be like, "Where the hell he's at?" But
for knowing he was on his way, be waiting at the door to like let him in, especially if it's like snowing and stuff. I don't know, but I thought it was weird. You know how cops are very like, if another cop dies, it's like it's a big deal and whatever. Like,
oh yeah,
I feel like if I were a cop and a cop died on my front lawn, I'd be outside, But I guess maybe they told him not to. I don't know, but he was called in the morning and he was in bed and he chose never to come out.
That's weird. If it was your friend, don't you think you would run out there? I mean, I would.
It wasn't his friend. It was Jen's friend. So he wasn't friends with them. He was
okay.
friends with Jen because her
Oh.
kids were friends with his nieces that he adopted. But they
Oh.
were still both cops.
Hey guys.
Holy
Hey.
fuck, he's in the car.
Who's that?
But they were both law
Boston.
enforcement.
Boston.
Boston.
I was trying not to interrupt Kate.
You go, Kate. Sorry, Kate. We're being rude.
Kate, go ahead.
Terrible person I am.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. I'm listening to you. Go ahead, baby.
Oh, I'm done. If you're waiting on me, I was done saying. I was just saying about it was weird.
She's like, that's it. Nothing else.
Nothing else. Fucking B Tim fucked me up my thought process, son of a bitch.
No,
Kick,
it's all
kick
B
B
Tim's
Tim.
fault.
Kick B
Quick.
Tim off this panel immediately.
That's a first. Right. Boston, you
just got-
sound different.
I just
You
went.
sound in
I'm
love
on my
or
phone. I
something.
think. Yeah, I'm on my
okay.
phone.
That's it. Okay.
We just went to Lululemon. We got
Oh, I love
chest.
Lululemon.
We got some Molly material.
Yeah.
Molly.
Yeah.
I bought her some pants.
So you want to?
Ooh, Lululemon pants. That's kind of like buying a bracelet. I'm just kidding. Or jewelry.
To her, it is for sure. That's facts. She loves it. Jesus Lord.
Price wise, I'm sorry.
How do you girls do? Yeah, how do you girls do that?
Oh my god.
So 118 for the
Lululemon.
pants, and then I
Right?
got another one
It's
for
crazy.
64 on sale.
Interesting.
Wait, did your power come back last night?
No. Well, I don't think so.
Well, obviously her power came back on. She's live.
Oh, I meant like last
She's
night.
like, fuck that. Yeah. I think her internet didn't come back till today, she said earlier.
I hate when that freaking happens. It's so annoying not be able to get on the
It
internet.
was, it was God's will that stream that would not continue. I think God was like, okay, we're done with tonight.
That was divine intervention for sure.
Divine intervention. God came down and struck down.
Struck a tree, like
We
I
wanted
hit
to
a
hang
light
out
pole.
too. we wanted to hang out. We're like, oh no, but it's all right. We hung out for like 30 minutes or so.
But anyway, let me see. If you want to play Queen, I know you know.
Yeah, we're just go ahead. Jules is just going in and grab something from the restaurant. This is
Oh,
interesting.
so
We've been
it's still
watching.
going. When is she going back? Today or tomorrow? Or
I'm
did
gonna
you
drop her off
extend
in
it?
2 hours.
Oh no. Oh no. But you have like a next date set up, right? Where you're going there soon?
A month. I'm going to send to the Texas. Yes.
For like Halloween.
Yeah, this weekend. Well, Halloween's on a Tuesday, right, guys? So I'll be there that weekend before,
Oh, yeah, that's when people are probably going to celebrate.
and I'm gonna be the gerbil, and she's gonna be Pretty Woman.
Ah, you're going to be a gerbil. Shut up.
No, please don't bring that subject back. I'm serious. Don't ever bring the subject. Don't ever bring that subject back on this panel ever again.
I'm sorry. It was kind of under my breath, and Jones picked it up. Like she always does.
My God. So Queen, you want to hit the play or is?
Oh, that beautiful bean. Oh, Jules is coming in the car if you want to say hello.
Okay, cool. Boston and Jules update.
Hello.
Did you see that? Since we're on the subject, and did you see your Tiger Talk preview?
Yeah, that was awesome of her.
Ah, that was so cute. I loved it. That was awesome. So sweet.
I'll turn my camera off since we're not having the camera on.
Well, I don't even think we can see you because there's
Karen Reed's talking.
He doesn't know how to hold the camera.
Whatever.
Pathetic.
Oh
my God, you're fighting already. Perfect. That's good. That's good.
Oh, there's hatred and rage. That's good.
I've taken like 390 million pictures.
Somebody's got to.
Let me see. He was in the yard, and supposedly nobody from the party knows him. Yeah, I agree with you, Kate. Kate, I agree with you. That's a little weird to me, but that's why I gave her 20%. Why I think she's innocent, Karen Reed.
And they said he wasn't innocent. They said that he wasn't even in a spot that was hard to see. Like he was like right out there. So it'd be strange for all those people to leave the party and nobody see him laying there.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Nobody saw him in the yard. They didn't see him till the next morning when they went looking for him when they realized he was missing. So he goes to the house. She sees him at the door ready to go in. Karen sees him there. She's waiting for him to text her and say, hey, it's cool if you come. He never texts her. She gets mad because she's like, it's been 10 minutes. He's drunk. Whatever. I'm going home. They had already gotten a fight on New Year's about this. He got too drunk and ruined the night for them. And
Okay.
she was frustrated because this is like a repeat of what happened then. So she said, F this, I'm going home. She goes
Alright.
home. She goes to bed. Then she wakes up at like 5 a.m. and he's not home. So she starts texting him, where the F are you? She's mad. She's cursing at him. I could understand because because of what happened on New Year's that she claims, why she would be mad. And, what girl wakes up and your man's not home at 5 a.m. and you ain't pissed, So then she starts calling people, and Jen McCabe and John's neighbor go with her to go look for him. They go to Brian Albert's house because the party was at Brian's. And there he is laying on the lawn, dead from blunt force trauma and hypothermia. Supposedly it's overheard her saying, I hit him. Brian never comes outside. And the next day they find the taillight pieces in the snow. It had been plowed by that time, so I guess they couldn't really tell, how far down they were in the snow or whatever because the road had been plowed. And then supposedly, according to the defense, Michael Proctor, the lead investigator, who denies being close with the Alberts, but it's very clear that they are close with the Alberts because there's all kinds of social media photos and stuff and videos and everything to document they're close. He's the lead investigator, which should have been a, what do you call that? When somebody knows somebody and they shouldn't be involved.
Like
Why can't I think of the word for it?
Oh, nepotism, kind of, or no?
No, like
no.
Like if you're
Conflict of
friends with
interest.
conflict of interest. He should have never been the investigator on the case because there's a major conflict of interest because he's good friends with them to the point where, their kids take photos together, they go hang out at parties together, all that stuff. Like they're close. So he's the lead investigator. Supposedly the next day he has like an hour time frame where he's there alone. So they're saying he planted the taillight. And they're saying that, he helped cover it up because Brian Albert is a fellow cop. Colin Albert is Brian's
Yeah.
nephew. Colin and John were neighbors. They lived like two houses
Oh.
apart. Colin, the young kid. And so Brian's brother, I forget his name. Brian's brother and his nephew are neighbors of John. And supposedly they have some neighbor beef, like they get annoyed with each other. I don't know. You know how
Oh,
neighbors are.
interesting.
So
Yeah, you never
supposedly
know.
Colin and John had some neighbor beef. So they believe when John showed up at the house, maybe Colin was drunk and, swung on him and a fight ensued. And then Brian jumped in and the dog jumped in. Brian is a trained MMA fighter. So that's how this all, like, this theory came about. Is like
With the dog jumping in. Oh.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a dog. I mean, it could be a dog bite, but it looks more like.
I think by the elbow, it looks like a dog bite because there's like a little
above
half
the
moon.
elbow.
Yeah, there's like a little half moon shape, and it looks like condensed pieces. But then the other ones don't look like that.
That
But
looks
they're
like it could be
saying that
glass or something.
yeah,
but
they're saying
that could
that
be
he had
anything.
he had a glass from the bar and that it
in his
cut him.
hand when he fell.
They didn't search Brian's house. He never came out. They got rid of the dog shortly after that, and then they redid their basement floor, and then they sold it, I believe, the house. And there was also another cop that lived up the street, I think, that they tried to get CCTV from, and who had connections to them in some way. And then there was another guy who was close to them that clocked himself in at 2:00 in the morning. I forget how it went down, but it was strange why he would have been on the clock at that specific time, or why he would have, because he wasn't working that shift. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff. You got to read through the defense motion, but there is some things that are strange for sure. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Willow, that maybe the dog bit and he was trying to pull away, and that's why it had that drag mark, Could you imagine getting bit by a dog and you're trying to pull your arm away? Like that could cause it. But the long ones, I'm not sure.
That would just it would just like bite down and you would have to like pry their thing off. They're not gonna like drag their, you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
I was bit by a dog
Yeah,
once and
maybe like a lock.
it's a
type
lock
deal.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was very like punctury looking. This looks more like
But like
cut.
my thing is like, okay, let's say we go into this world whereby everything that defense is claiming is fact. Let's have this imagination where we do that, and they've actually committed this crime. Why would the police department, medical examiner, and everyone else try to cover up this crime? I mean, I get like they're all, have some sort of, but like that doesn't make sense to me. Like all these agencies work independently; they're not all just like one connected agency. They're different. That doesn't make sense to me.
Medical examiner find that would like, well, because
maybe I covered
they
up.
like I'm saying, if they already had like messed with the evidence or anything, when it got to the medical examiner, it might look one way. But like I have to see the medical examiner report that like I don't believe that I've seen the medical examiner report.
I'm gonna find a plug, guys. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay, boss.
BL says when you like enhance the bite marks, they look punctury. The marks, they look punctury.
Well, when you zoom in, I do think the ones on his elbow look punctury, but the up ones above look different. Like that's what I'm saying. Some of the ones around his elbow look like a puncture to me, and then the ones up high look like scratches.
Yeah, it could be multiple. I mean, he had also had like blunt force trauma, so there was stuff that happened to his body. It doesn't have to be a dog and glass specifically. You know what I mean? Could be a lot of other shit that happened too. In that basement. Who knows?
Or what if somebody had a glass and hit him with it or something and it broke and they were tussling on the floor? Who knows?
Or he fell on something on his arm.
All right,
maybe.
We don't want to go to the turtle zone. We don't want to go to the turtle zone.
No, I mean, but you just don't know what happened.
Yeah,
like,
nobody knows what happened.
These,
They
like,
didn't
little
even
points.
search the house.
I mean, just because she might have hit him doesn't mean she did. Just because he was holding a cocktail glass doesn't mean it shattered and made that mark on his arm.
No,
there could be other things we don't know about, right?
What would the prosecution need to do to actually convince you guys that she's guilty? Like, what are the key elements you think they need to probably do to do that? Like, what do you think?
That Google search, because that Google search, they're saying like that that woman brought up another search at the same time, and that's why it's stuck as 147 or something.
No, she Google searched something later in the morning. It was like 5 a.m. and they're saying it was a time thing, but that it can't be because the spelling was different. The spelling was different in the morning. So like how it was spelled at 2:27 in the morning and how it was spelled around 5 a.m. it was different. So it was like
I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
It wasn't the same exact spelling. It was spelled differently. So then how do you explain that away?
How do you explain that at all? Like you can't explain that any other way than somebody was in the house and knew that he was outside dying at 2:47 in the morning. Like how else do you? That's like. It's not being you're being a psychic then, right?
Google search is huge for me. Like, how do you explain away a search? Here's what I can't get past. The Google search at 2:27 in the morning asking how long to die in the cold. Why would somebody be even Googling that at 2:27 in the morning?
Exactly. When somebody is outside dying in the cold, right? I mean,
I mean, like you could also say like, well, it's freezing outside and people just are drunk and they're just Googling stupid shit.
Yeah, but the timing of it is strange, and then Googling it again early in the morning. And then all the people leaving the party that just happened to not see this man outside laying in the snow at all is strange to me. I would think if it wasn't snowing, that'd be one thing because the ground is like dark and maybe you blend in. But snow, how do you miss that? It's like a dark thing laying in white.
Do you agree with the prosecution's assertion that the Google Walk thing could be like just him, like what was it, the fitness walk thing? A walk, because like what is it called? Apple Fitness, where basically like
like the steps, like in the
steps
trial.
Yeah, the defense is basically saying it shows them like going up like down the stairs and whatnot and all these things, and the prosecution saying that basically when you're driving, that could activate it and do that.
That's
And
what they
also
did
the
in the murder
GPS
trial.
and the
Yeah.
GPS doesn't show John ever going into the house.
Good point, BL. She also deleted a bunch of
Yeah.
calls between her and Brian, and
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
there was messages and stuff deleted between her and Brian Albert. I
but
don't
what,
know.
But what do you think about the GPS? Because like the prosecution says, the GPS shows that it says he never entered the house, and
I don't need an expert for that because, for instance, like on my GPS, sometimes I'll be in my house, but it'll ping out in my yard. You know, like it'll be close, but it won't be there. Like I've always been kind of like weird about GPS because sometimes I feel like it puts you very close, but it doesn't put you like exactly where you are. Yeah, like a lot of times mine will show that I'm like in my yard, but I'm in my house. And there's also something I learned this from the Barry Morphy case actually called static drift. Is like when like a satellite is close to like where a ping is, sometimes it will keep reading, or if it's in between towers or something, it will keep reading and then it'll ping in all different places. I forget exactly like how it works, but it explains like why something would ping in different areas. My GPS always pins me at 10 doors down from my house every time I'm in my home. Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be, I mean, it's an interesting situation. I mean, there's many things that just make it very tough to be like, because I think like a lot of people would suffer from like, oh, are you going to really convict this lady based upon, all these questions people have? And I don't think the prosecution's really answering those questions. But
I would be curious if his GPS showed as like moving or if it just stayed.
Well, the Google step, they said that didn't the defense?
Oh
say the
yeah,
Google Step?
there was his Apple Watch recorded that he took a bunch of steps.
Yeah, and then that was explained away by the prosecution, stating, "Oh, that could occur while in a car or something like that." And they had like an expert on a TV show, like on the Apple, explain this. I believe. I think I've seen
I feel
that.
like you wouldn't be able, like it would be just as not reliable as the GPS thing. He was outside the whole time. You know what I mean? Because they had the watch. Maybe he dropped his phone out in the snow, but maybe that's why he didn't text her, because he dropped his phone or something, but had his watch on. You know what I mean? So it was still like reading. I don't know. I'm trying to. Here it goes. Here's some of the stuff. Instant request.
Jennings Googled how long to die in the snow before they knew. Yeah, that's a little odd to me. Like that, and then you start deleting shit afterwards. It's like, that does raise a few eyebrows,
right? Yeah.
Definitely. That's why I give it like 20% or something, like, or 25% to her innocence, because like. But would I, if I was on a jury, would I convict her based upon the evidence right now? Probably not. In a civil case, I would.
Yeah, but not in a
criminal case. Yeah, because civil, I can. If you're like 70% or 70% sure someone did something, or even 60%, yeah, you would be like, yeah, okay, civil. Criminal is like, I feel like it has to be like a 90% chance.
I believe they found his phone underneath him, like underneath where he was laying.
Yeah.
So it says, hours before Miss McCabe had any reason to suspect O'Keefe is missing or in distress, at 2:27 a.m. on January 29th, she Googles how, with an like HOS instead of W, so she like messed up the letter. How long to die in the cold. This search was recovered from the deleted cache of Miss McCabe's iPhone 11, meaning she took affirmative steps to delete that Google search from her phone before turning it over to police, clearly evidencing consciousness of guilt. Then, at 6:23 a.m. on January 29th, shortly after disconnecting with 911 dispatch, so this is right after she got off the phone with 911, she tries to override the inculpatory Google search by Googling how long to, but to with an I instead of an O, die in the CIKD, would be like she misspelled cold. So they were both spelled completely different. So I'll put the first Google search and how it was spelled in chat, and then I'll put the second one. But she wrote the second one right after she called 911. And then the second one, darn it, won't let me. Alright, so that was the first one she typed, and then the second one I put in there too. And then it says, simultaneously at 6:23 a.m., Jennifer makes an outgoing call to her brother-in-law, Brian Albert, which he doesn't answer. Then she deletes the record of that call. At 6:24 a.m., she realizes she misspelled her prior search and Googles how long to die in the cold, exactly how it was
That's
written the
weird.
first time.
Yeah, and you know what? I
She's
mean, like,
flipping, I feel
to
like.
to be a little bit like on the there's been a lot of scenarios where like killers have Googled, or people who have thought about killing people, or how to commit
Oh, that
crime.
Brian Walsh. Remember that
I mean,
guy?
a
and his
famous
Google-
from a character from my favorite movie, the nurse that saw the toddler on the road. She Googled multiple
Your new
ways.
favorite movie.
My new favorite movie. She Googled multiple things that had to do like about being missing, like a
like
movie about being,
and
like a bunch of things that kind of incriminated that she just faked the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
So
totally.
people just Google shit and they don't realize that you're basically your record's out there, your information's out there once you do it. So she just deleted her phone calls, probably thinking, oh well, maybe I get rid of them. And it's a little odd that you delete your phone calls afterwards. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, especially if because she made the 911 call, so she knew.
I mean,
she maybe knew that as like a, hanging around cops, that phone was going to go to the police. But
Then later that day at 12:53 p.m., she deletes a screenshot of Brian Albert's contact information, which was saved in her phone as Uncle Brian A, with an identifying description of home number 3.
Hmm.
And then 4 months after O'Keefe's death in May 2022, Brian Albert rehomes his canine German Shepherd and family dog of 7 years, Chloe, to an unknown location for a purported skin piercing incident. So their dog of 7 years, they rehome. 2 weeks after the defense publicly accuses Brian Albert of being involved in O'Keefe's murder.
I mean, because of a skin piercing incident, usually, like, I hate to say it, usually they put down dogs that pierce skin, but maybe because it was a canine, like a special one. But usually they put them down, especially if it was also involved in this. Well, I don't know. They just got rid of them before they could test them, right?
All right, you ready to play this?
He had reached out to me on Facebook and he said, hey, Blast from the Past, how's things? And when I saw his picture, his profile picture was with several young children. And then it triggered my memory that his sister and his sister's husband had passed away. And he told me, yeah, I have the kids now. I admired that. I thought that was amazing.
Soon, Reed says she became part of the family, often sleeping over at O'Keefe's house and helping take care of the kids.
He would go to work and I would stay with his niece and nephew. All of the breaks that the kids had, we did something.
But their relationship also had its struggles. Reeve says O'Keefe had been relying more on her to take care of the kids, and that he criticized some of the decisions she made with them.
We had an argument on New Year's Eve. We were away on vacation, and he became incoherently drunk. And I ended up ringing in the new year with his niece and nephew. John didn't come back to our room till after 3 a.m. So that was rough. I felt very much taken advantage of. He apologized profusely for what happened on New Year's Eve. And he said, if you can't get over it, then you need to spend some time at yours. I can't keep apologizing. I don't want to keep rehashing this.
A few weeks later, they were invited to meet up with some friends at the Waterfall Bar in Canton. And there, they ran into Brian Albert, a fellow Boston police officer who Reed says O'Keefe looked up to. Albert had led the city's gang unit before commanding the Fugitive Apprehension Team. It was the elite squad responsible for taking down some of the city's most dangerous criminals and featured in the 2013 TNT show Boston's Finest.
1 minute we're walking around, everything's fine, and then 1 minute it's not fine.
Both times I met Brian Albert, he seemed like the type of person that you'd be surprised he's out socially because he doesn't seem like he ever wants to be there.
But at the bar, Reed says there was an invitation to continue hanging out at Albert's home.
I said, can we make sure we're welcome here? Nobody extended the invite to me. I didn't hear the invite extended to you.
They drive to the Alberts' house. What happens next is disputed.
So I pull at the foot of the driveway. It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone.
Reed says after about 10 minutes of waiting in her car, she became irritated that O'Keefe still hadn't gotten in touch with her. And she drove back to his home where she continued calling him before, she says, she fell asleep around 1:30 in the morning. She then says she woke up before 5 a.m. He still wasn't home. She then started canvassing the neighborhood.
Just going to drive around.
So this will give a little bit of a background. Sorry, Kate. Oh, your internet went out. I was going to say you're welcome to come back up.
And the 2 square miles that we spent the preceding night.
After 20 minutes of unsuccessful searching, she called John's friend, Carrie Roberts, and Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert's sister-in-law, who was also at his house the night before. The 3 women together now headed to Albert's home. How soon was it when you pulled in there that you saw John's body?
Immediately. And what struck me when I saw him was his mouth was open a little bit and his eyes were shut and he had spots of blood in different areas on his face.
O'Keefe was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. He died from blunt force trauma and hypothermia. And it wasn't long before Reed became the #1 suspect. Authorities say they had noticed a cracked taillight after they seized her car.
I had told both Jen and Carrie that I cracked my taillight. I said, I just hit my car on top of everything, but I didn't look at the damage. And both women said, it's cracked. It's cracked. Calm down. You cracked your taillight. You're okay. Let's go look for John.
But according to police statements, Jennifer McCabe told authorities that while they were looking for O'Keefe, Reed stated, "Could I have hit him? Did I hit him?" And when O'Keefe's body was discovered, first responders who arrived on the scene say they overheard Reed make other statements. Firefighter said that you said, "I hit him, I hit him, I hit him."
I said, I hit him. It was preceded by a did and proceeded by a question mark. What I thought could have happened was that did I incapacitate him unwittingly somehow and then in his drunkenness passed out?
When you walked out of the bar, how many drinks had you had?
I had had probably about 4.
The Commonwealth says that you had 9 drinks that night. That's what the prosecution says.
I don't believe they're saying I wasn't in my right mind.
See, 9 drinks is a lot more than 4.
Yeah, that's why I thought my thought process is that she basically was drunk when she was driving and she hit him.
Time to open a Discord room. That's it.
Oh no.
Investigators.
Oh no.
Investigation, take charge.
Oh no. What are we gonna call
my
it?
little sleuthers, get your little bumblebee wings out. We're about to start. Time to start sleuthing.
Oh no. Oh no. Let me see. I mean, it could.
You're saying you were intoxicated. Is it possible that you might have hit him unwittingly in your admittedly very large SUV?
No, not possible.
3 days after O'Keefe was found dead, investigators arrested Reed for manslaughter. She was eventually indicted on second-degree murder. Investigators reported they found fragments of broken glass on the rear bumper on Reed's vehicle, and that a broken cocktail glass was found by what appeared to be patches of blood near O'Keefe's body.
The victim, Mr. O'Keefe, is last observed on surveillance video with a cocktail glass in his right hand. Same arm that's injured, the same type of glass that is then recovered from the bumper of the defendant's car.
In court documents, the prosecution also claims that Reed's blood alcohol level could have been between 0.13 and 0.29%, above the legal limit of 0.08. In addition, they say pieces of Reed's taillight were found on the scene the day O'Keefe's body was discovered. More fragments of that taillight were found the following week, according to Canton police reports, after the snow melted, which revealed more at the scene. But Reed's attorney, Alan Jackson, has a different theory about how those fragments of taillight got there.
Those pieces of taillight were placed there after the fact.
You're saying evidence was planted.
The pieces of taillight were planted after the fact.
What does the defense believe actually happened to John after Karen dropped him off?
I think he walked into the house. I think he was confronted, was likely brought down to the basement. I think that confrontation got physical and he was beaten. He was beaten to a point of unconsciousness.
Jackson argues that the autopsy photos of O'Keefe support his theory and not the prosecution's claim.
Looks like he's been in a fist fight and he's been beaten. He's got some defensive wound bruises on the backs of his hand. He's got this massive laceration on the back of his head, a big giant gash, about 2.5 inches, exactly lateral, going from left to right. 2 black eyes, cut over his right eye, cut over his nose. This was a cover-up that John was murdered inside that house. His body was placed outside.
But in a statement to ABC News, the prosecution says there was no conspiracy or cover-up. Such claims have been systematically refuted by evidence submitted to Norfolk Superior Court. The prosecution also said that, according to O'Keefe's cell phone GPS records and 11 witness statements, O'Keefe never entered Albert's home, and that a medical examiner found no signs of Mr. O'Keefe being involved in any type of physical altercation or fight.
Was that a game changer?
Well, that's the prosecution's.
Did they fight in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, prosecution's basically stating that the car hit him, caused these things, and the defense is basically saying that he got beat up. Yeah, it says, yeah, his face wouldn't be that way without there being a fight. The lacerations in the back of the head could be explained maybe with like his head hitting the concrete. I'm not sure if I can explain why he has, and the bruise in the back of his hand looks like could be caused by like a defense from being hit by a car. But yeah, I mean, I can't explain. I'm not a medical examiner. I don't know. That's the thing. But you're going to try to convince a jury, and the prosecution is not doing a good job, let's just say, of explaining it. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's true, Larley. He could be right, but you could still be an asshole when doing it, or be like unethical by doing it. Well, that dude, by the way, the duck person. Lie detector tests don't really work when they don't detect lies. They detect if someone's nervous if they're taking a lie detector test. And there's many situations where a person can be nervous for various different reasons. Or some people who don't have any nervous. Like there's a couple of serial killers that pass their lie detector test with flying colors. Also spies too. So I mean, lie detector test is not. It's good for like detecting to see what makes a person nervous, maybe. But even then, it could be issues. There could be many factors. So yeah, lie detectors tests are not that great in situations like this. The name is false advertisement. It doesn't detect lies. And Queen is contemplating what else to talk.
There's no evidence that Mr. O'Keefe was beaten and left for dead. There was no evidence of any defensive wounds.
ABC News reached out to attorneys for Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe, but did not hear back by the time of this broadcast. In a previous statement to the Boston Herald, McCabe's attorney said the whole scenario is baseless. Reed is scheduled to appear next in court again in September.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
All right. Let me see. Queen is quiet right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and a lot of people think this is a conspiracy, and some, I mean, I don't know. It's just there's
a lot. I mean, that's the thing. I'm like, there's a lot that could go to both sides. It could be as simple as she hit him with a car, drunk, and she's just basically realized she fucked up when she said some things off the scene, and now she's hired a very good attorney that's defending her pretty well and getting out there. Or it could be just, could be, I don't know if it's this grand conspiracy, but it could be very well that there's possibility that this he was beaten and then left in the cold to die. I mean, there's a good possibility. I mean, and the problem is that a jury would have problems. I think the prosecution is not. I don't know if the prosecution's really laying down a fantastic case. But because I think the jury's probably going to come back, not guilty for Karen, because a few things just don't add up. The texts, the bite marks, or alleged bite marks, I should say. The Apple Watch steps things they can put into it. There's a few things. I mean, and the prosecution's not really explaining it away. The GPS kind of helps the prosecution because it kind of shoots down their theory about him being taken into the house and beat up in the basement and all that stuff. But a lot of other things are, not so great. Them getting away. I mean, it says glass in the hand, glass in the bumper. Did they find any glass on his body? If so, open and shut to make. Well, they found glass. I think they did find glass on his body. I think taillight glass or something like that. I'm not sure. But the prosecution's basically making the statement that one of the police officers poured that on him in the scene or something like that. But, good defense is making up a good story. Google searched the evidence found a week later, and all the bruises have me suspicious. Seems footprints would have been near the body if he was placed there in the snow. Yeah, I mean, that would probably, but you have to realize that this was done at I don't know, would it still be there? Because it would be at night. So, because it was still snowing and it wasn't as deep as the period. So it might have eventually got rid of it eventually, but who knows? Why more feasible than Fight Club and dog bite? Way more feasible than dog. Yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is what you really do is you just have to give that doubt to the jury. And I think that's what the defense is doing. They created a story and they're trying to sell doubt to the jury with the whole dog bite and the corruption and all that stuff. And all they really need to do is that, you'd be shocked. Will a lot of people believe this theory? That a lot of very smart people believe this theory. Because there's a couple of things that just doesn't add up. Like, why get rid of your dog? Why sell your house? I mean, the house thing I can explain. Why sell your house under value? Why delete phone calls and why are you texting? Why are you looking up how long it takes a person to die in cold? Why did 10 people not see a guy who was hit by a car in front of their house? Why did no one text and say, where are you? Are you coming? You can go with Karen's side. You say, why is she the first? Why was she able to see a person lying in the snow while everyone else couldn't see, and she was the first one to point it out in the car? Why did you say could I hit him? I mean, why are you lying about how many drinks you've had? Because you did drink a bunch of drinks, and there's also a video of you having someone pouring drinks in your drink. Why are you driving drunk? I mean, through a snowstorm. I mean, there's a couple of things. So it's like that. It's like that. Get rid of the dog because the would compare bite marks and learn that the dog bites are bullshit. Well, no, the defense is saying that they're dog bites. So yeah, So one of the, the owner of the house would want to prove that Karen, the bite marks are not real, and probably Karen hit John with the car. So it just doesn't make sense why the dog was taken away and thrown within the family out of state. Just not makes sense to me, but whatever. They would need to show me legit reasons for the Google search, the dog being gone, and how no one could see him out there. That's what I would have to see to know one way or the other. And that's the thing. And that's what a jury's going to ask for. And I think the prosecution should go out there and probably find this damn dog and just get the damn dental imprint or something just to confirm what the hell, so that they can close the defense's theory. If they do that, then all the defense is going to have is basically, a Google search at night, which can be explained away as silly, drunken Google searches and, other things, But anyway, that's my thoughts. Queen?
I'm here.
What do you want to do? You want to?
I'm probably actually going to be getting off here soon. Because we've been on here like about 4 hours, and I got stuff to do, my little gut tumbling and stuff. So
Tumbling.
I'll have to go get. Yeah,
that's nice. Anyway, it was good talking to you, Queen. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You have a good one.
Absolutely, you too, man. Thanks for hanging out.
No problem. Bye, guys.
We'll talk to you later, and I appreciate y'all hanging out. Thank you, guys. I have court in 2 days, so please do not act a fool. The hearing is open. It is open to the public. Anybody can go and watch. Anybody can watch it. Anybody that wants to, please do not record it. Please do not act fucking stupid. Have respect. If you want to watch it, go watch it. But be respectful. Have a good night.
Have a good one. Bye.